investigate something, we'll investigate something. You want to go try and find a way to slow down that derelict vendor and see what state it's in, we can do that. You want to go hit the Empire in space, we can do that. Hit some random criminals on the ground, we could do that. We're just going to play it as we go.
I'm the tick on his ass.
Can we just fuck again? That was fun.
Too. Okay, wait a minute.
What?
Ghost, do you remember what we made between this session and last that we decided has a voice?
Oh no.
Oh, please not that.
Oh no.
It's not the dog. We forgot the dog existed, more or less.
No, it's not that I forgot the dog existed. It's just
so
when you mentioned
situational.
giving that a voice too, I thought it was hilarious, so I figured.
What'd you give a voice to?
Woof.
My R2 unit.
Oh, well, don't those talk anyways?
They
No,
talk
they
all the
scream.
time.
No, they
This has a voice.
Yeah, he gave a voice box.
Do you want to tell her what it is if she wants to play that role?
R2D2 was actually quite the shit talker.
Yes.
He spoke his fucking mind and he talked. Well, he never got. Was it R2D2?
Red, you're supposed to be working.
Never got their memory back. Yeah, R2 never got.
He's already back to work.
C-3PO got memory wiped multiple times.
But R2D2 remembered having Anakin and.
Yeah, there's a popular
R2
fan theory that Star
Okay,
Wars is told from R2's perspective, which is why he's always a hero.
Yeah, and R2 has never been memory wiped. That is his shtick.
Did they go poop?
Yeah.
Did they poop normal or?
Home Slice remembers everything from his creation on Naboo. Or sorry, his creation is transferred to Naboo. His first mission on saving Padme's ass, and handing all their asses in the fucking ship, and
That belly.
boom, lay fucking boom.
It really hangs down when you bend over.
Kid rude. It's so.
Get over here, fat boy.
Well, I guess he's really starting to live up to that Air Force expectation. So what's the plan for tonight?
Whatever you guys want to do, really. We'll just have open RP and then decide where you guys want to go. If you want to do a ground battle, we can do that. You want to do literally whatever. Or we just cancel session. I don't care. I am here for whatever you guys want to do, because we're not going to be doing Jabba's Palace, and I didn't plan for an alternative.
Yeah. Waggy, you got any ideas?
We could go get that derelict, like Exile was saying, that derelict ship.
We could check it out.
It'd be some engineering work, and you'd have to enlist your other ships, but you could see about doing that.
I think that would be a really smart decision.
All right, so this episode's called "The Gang Acquires a Venator." Got it.
Okay, I'll have to get a thing thrown together for that real quick. Let me know when you guys are ready with the stream, and I'll run the intro.
Waggy's is already going.
Oh yeah, then.
Yeah, I just renamed his.
Did he just do that?
No, they probably did that while he was out there.
I just
I was on an intermission screen with like Discord muted, just talking to chat for a minute.
I gotcha.
And then I finally, when I saw that Tristan switched over, I switched over.
You gotta stop. Come on.
My fucking leg.
Alrighty.
Okay.
When you guys are ready.
That's kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good to go.
Giant game of blackjack where we lose all our credits to one player.
That GIF is funny because when you watch it, you can actually see the camera work being done, and literally the cameraman has tilted the camera slightly to the left and then straight again.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, 3PO's moving in an entirely different direction. It's funny. Yeah, let's roll Destiny dice for everybody, please. Let's see what bullshit is up today. Let me get these. I am running the stream. Okay.
Jesus Christ, people.
Yikes.
Pull it the fuck together, boys. What the
Well,
fuck?
Ghost. Maybe Ghost can save you with a double white. No.
Nope. Oh my god. What is this?
What would you like to do with that much fate die pointing in towards badness? And you guys wonder why the lightsaber was
Let's do something with the fifth holocron, obviously. Duh.
No.
I
want to touch it.
None of you have really seen that holocron since you recovered it initially. No one really knows what's been going on with it. Mal's has been very secretive about his interactions with it, and none of you are the wiser. Though Malus has been seeming somewhat distant lately, not in like a bad way, and when you interact with him he's fairly normal, but he's not around all the time. Now,
Playing with those creepy magic triangles.
Yeah. Never trust a triangle.
Well,
All right.
What would you? I'm making myself a cup of tea real quick. What I would say is, you're all currently at the Tandun base, looking over these 3 new X-wings we purchased, and I will say we've only configured 2 of those. There is a third up for grabs.
Yes.
You taking that Alpha? The
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I figured as much. Get yourself an actual little ship.
Yep. I'm the reason we have them. Somehow, I'm taking one.
I mean, it is only fair.
So, let's discuss what might be done with that X-wing. Other 2 X-wing owners, would you like to tell Alpha here? Because I will say, the story behind these fighters is these are all pre-production models. They have features that are not included on the standard one.
Excuse me while I grab my book and I'll tell you what I want done to it.
don't forget the engineer can add an extra hard point to it.
This is also true.
Yep.
But Tarnus and Malice, our other 2 X-wing pilots, would you like to say what unique features yours each have? For the sake of everybody watching. All however many of you there are. We love you. Tristan, that's your cue.
Yeah, Tristan,
Malice.
fuck first, damn it.
Did we lose him?
I'm here. Just got my microphone was off,
Oof.
Lamau.
and also eating food. So
That's
All right,
fair.
Ghost, it is you, I guess.
So the main feature for my X-wing, oh my lord, the main feature for my X-wing is a variable munitions launcher.
Don't be a loud ass bitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So instead of the standard twin proton torpedo launchers, each with 6
Yeah.
torpedoes, he has a 2-tube but total magazine 10 missile launcher that can accommodate concussion missiles, jamming missiles, decoys, or even unguided rockets, and a little something special that he's been cooking up with our Corellian droid
are-
tech.
Are mag pulse torpedoes a thing in this universe?
Fuck no. Ion torpedoes
Please?
are no. Ion
Please?
torpedoes are a thing. Ion torpedoes are
Mag pulse torpedoes, dude.
Look, I may or may not have an experimental X-wing in front of me in a book right now. All right, I just want mag pulse torpedoes. I don't think I'm asking for too much considering it's lore accurate.
line item for that. I don't know what those even are.
That's what I'm asking. Are they in? Are they in the game? Like,
No, I've never even heard of those. And I'm probably me and Ghost are probably tied as some of the biggest Star Wars nerds here. I've not heard of that.
it's a magnetic pulse torpedo. What's so hard? It's an EMP torpedo. What's so hard to understand?
Let's see.
There's a bit more to it than just EMP.
Yeah,
There's
it's
no
got
way.
it's got some oomph behind it, but whatever. It's got some.
I can give you ion torpedoes. That's an option. But anyway, Tristan, Malice's X-wing has the same standard armament, with the exception of the laser cannons are dual mode. They can act as either medium laser cannons or medium ion cannons. So yeah. The Jedi gets a optionally non-lethal starfighter.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Both of these models also feature a more advanced shield generator. They have a reinforced shield generator and an advanced targeting array.
Okay.
Those features will also come standard with yours. The question is what you want to do with the armament, really.
Can I get maneuvering repulsors in my S-foils?
What do you like? You want to improve the maneuverability stat?
Yeah.
Engine ring stabilizer is what you'd actually be looking with, but yeah. You could do that. That would take up a slot, or potentially two. Let me see how many that takes up. That requires one, so yeah, that would replace the enhanced targeting array. What are you feeling like?
Well, I want improved speed, improved maneuverability. Quick change magazines on the torpedo launchers to swap them between concussion and proton torpedoes.
That's
Like
a bit.
concussion.
Those have entirely different form factors. Unfortunately, you cannot hot swap between them.
Quick change magazines allow pilots to swap torpedoes with other payloads, such as concussion missiles or
What book are you reading?
Star Wars Complete Vehicles.
Yeah, that's not necessarily compatible with this game system, though.
Fine.
I have to give you things that I actually understand, like, and can make function within this game system. So,
Because it looks like the whole bottom of this fucking X-wing drops out to change the magazines.
well, that's kind of like you can drop.
Like you
the
can
gun
just
out of
you
the
can
can.
just drop the bottom and swap the racks. It looks like
In any event, is it agreed upon that we are going to be investigating the missing, or rather, not missing, the currently aggressively tumbling Star Destroyer?
Yeah, probably.
Sure.
Okay. I need a few minutes to get that final prep done. Talk amongst yourselves, and you keep looking at X-Wing. Be in character. You're currently at the Tended Base, which is currently in a celebratory mood following the recent successes.
I could add a little something to that X-wing for you, Alpha.
Another hard point.
Yeah. Give you a little attachment for something fun.
You would count as a shipwright in this context in terms of getting work done on it. However, doing the work yourselves instead of getting it done at a professional shipyard means you'll be rolling to see how well you do. Which is not a
you do have one of those mass drivers on you underneath your Y-wing there.
Jesus Christ.
As much as I would love to give you my mass driver cannon, it's gonna stay firmly planted on the bottom of this until I find another ship to put it on the bottom of.
Or make a turret.
But we could get another one.
We could get another one. If you find me a mass driver cannon, I will put it on the bottom of your Y-wing or your X-wing. We might even be able to add a little bit more storage for it too, because I only got 4 shots. Yours could have more.
Hey, can I do a roll? I want to know a guy.
What kind of guy?
Oh God.
I want to recall somebody that I used to work with that's a professional, like, shipyard, like, maintainer, like,
Okay.
organizer.
Okay.
I want them to be able to help out with managing ship repairs, refits, creation.
I see. It's on my list now. I still need a little bit of time to get this first thing done.
No,
And then
you're good. I'm just trying to break you because I could also do positive spin.
No, believe me, I immediately have a character idea in mind for this. I just need to split my thoughts on
Can I
several
roll
things.
positive spin improved to see if I can do my recruiting duty and pop it so that he brings along his own crew as well that are professionals?
We can talk about that in a minute. We can.
Well, I'd have to pass the check.
You know this man. He's human. He was on Mandalore, though was not Mandalorian. He's actually Balmorian
That's
by
interesting.
blood. Oh, he worked in a lot of places. Had to run enough times. Good quality work, not necessarily a good quality person.
Then he'll fit right in on the base.
If he fits at all.
That's what she said.
Valid.
Tristan, I think we're about due for another duel now that we know my soak actually does matter against you.
Yeah, as in, hi, lightsaber, you do nothing.
I still take damage.
Well,
It
yeah,
doesn't
you just
negate
don't.
the damage. I feel like if it was pure Beskar, it would, or not Beskar, Cortosis Beskar. Sweet Jesus, they'd be invincible.
Oh, you have.
Yeah, the best guy's already bullshit. Let's admit that.
Mhm.
Best guy with Cortosis weave.
No, I mean if the armor was Cortosis weaved. Makes it almost completely immune to lightsabers.
Cortosis
That
weave
would
is
be-
the armor that shuts off lightsabers, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
short circuits them.
Can I get a shield out of that?
No.
No.
What, do you like one of those clone shields that Obi-Wan's 212th was using in close
Yep.
quarters?
Yep.
Honestly, that's a really badass shield. But no. God, it would make you more OP than I am already.
You can
I'm all-
buy a shield.
Mhm.
No, he wants a Cortosis shield.
Oh.
Although,
Or like a Cortosis shield that's one of those fucking security shields that just pops out of my wrist in case like a last second defense.
like mine. What if you did carry one of those clone shields, but it's modified? Like maybe
Let me check my
Blitz from
comprehension.
Rainbow Six? Like a shield that
What
has
are
a
you trying
giant
to
flashbang
modify
on the
into
front?
a shield? Oh God.
No, it's already a shield. We're trying to add on to it. Gun port for your blaster.
On what?
Oh, I'm
The shield?
overweight. What the fuck?
God.
If he got just a regular clone shield that you said he could buy, put a gun port in there for his blaster, put a flashbang device in the front that he can activate with a click. We got a pretty scary clone on our hands.
He's already
Already
scary as is.
I know. Woggy's the clone carrying around a fucking Orlikit on his chest.
That was a Vofers.
No, it's more. Of
I
a-
think, yeah, I think instead of
Scale-wise,
40,
it's-
it's 20 mil.
Actually, you stuck 2 twin Orlikins on top of each other. It's a mini pom pom, is what it is.
Yeah. Listen, it's a great emotional support gun.
And we can't forget the droid.
I know the
as a
clone
turret.
didn't just say he has an emotional support gun.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
He's also got a droid in his turret, remember? On his Y-Wing.
That is very angry.
Yeah. Wild. Alright, I'll be back.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, you
Keep
gotta
thinking of ideas that are scaring Exile.
I'm gonna try and roll a discipline to try and recenter myself towards the light side some more.
I'd say you. There's a lot of conflict in your life as of late, but after the success in this raid, knowing you're fighting for the right cause brings you some solace, and I'll say you can remove 3 points of conflict, or rather, at positive.
So yeah, he absolutely destroyed that roll that time.
Yeah.
The other ones.
Compared to some previous issues, this is a Jedi
So-
who's slowly crawling his way back to the light.
Okay, my
to
morality
be
was
fair, in this
36
situation,
last
you-
time. Now it's 24.
You got bonuses for saving so many civilians.
No, but it was 36 before. Now it's 24.
Yeah, but
I
now
got
we've
just,
saved like
30.
5,000. We've saved like 5,000 civilians since then. We're good.
Yeah, but I dropped below 30 somehow.
Yeah, no, you're supposed to be at 39, or something. I did not touch that. Oh, I see what happened. Your duty was updated, but not that. And it's your conflicts that's supposed to be at 0 right now, because that's the start of the session.
Okay. Because I was very confused and very concerned because if I drop below 30, yeah, bad things happen.
Mm.
But yeah, Woggy, as a reminder, my soak is 7 and my defense
It's
is 2.
fine. Just go to the dark side for a little bit. It's fine.
Your soak is 7?
Yes, sir.
God damn.
Let me see,
Okay.
dark side.
So I'm effectively a problem.
Yeah. I mean, I like to identify as a problem too, man, because I've been putting a lot of points into my gunnery just because now the gun that I'm using is a gunnery gun. It's nothing nearly as busted as like 5 yellows, but I got 5 dice.
Mm-hmm.
My gunnery is level 3 too. I think it's like 3 yellows and 2 green. Yeah, 3 yellow, 2 green. Yeah.
That's I'm at level 5, and it's 3 yellows, 2 greens.
Oh, my agility is also at level 5. Up your agility one. Save some up and up your agility.
What? Save XP up?
Yeah, because all your range and gunnery is agility based. So like throw a point or 2 into there.
How do you up that?
You just click
How
on
much
it.
XP? Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what you're at. I don't know what you need.
I'm at 3 agility. I probably need like at least 15 XP. That's good to know.
You need more than that, but yeah.
Like 25 of there.
30.
Okay. 30? Okay. Okay. I know what I'm doing next.
Okay.
Yeah,
do you have any
my
lead
resilient.
in the base?
Lead, as in the material?
Yep.
Give
Tons of
me a.
Gotta
It's
be.
gonna be perception check, I guess, to try and hunt around for stuff.
Might I ask why you're looking for lead?
Building a box.
You think that's gonna help you?
Oh,
Worth a
help
try, I guess.
Malice. Malice,
What do
no.
you mean?
But for
You see, in the
someone else.
modern age, lead is a material used exceedingly seldomly, and when it is used, it's used in small amounts in electronics and other parts. It isn't really something you just find sheeting of laying around. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Majority of the time, it's used around reactors. You're not going to find reactor parts just scattered about.
Don't be loud.
Thanks for giving me an idea, though.
Start stripping every broken down piece of electronics. Get all the lead you can.
Just go buy it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, that would be the easier option.
Well, you guys are isolated from the galaxy. You're not fully isolated.
Also, there is the Ranger base.
Oh yeah.
Which I think we've done a good thorough search of anything like material value, but
I still have like a data pad from one of the rooms in there that I don't even think I've looked at yet.
might be a good idea to look at it.
Probably.
Apologies. Normally the prep work's done before session.
You're fine.
Would also just think it the possibility of maybe working with Len and training my mechanics with him.
What are you working on today?
Gonna just take a look at some of the, like what we could do with some of those ARC 170s. You know, do a little bit more maintenance. Or we had a couple of damaged A-wings too this last fight, didn't we? Or were those mission kills?
You did lose, I think, at least one A-wing.
Okay, that's right.
One A was
Some were damaged.
Yeah, a few were damaged. I think two. Yeah.
No casualties or what?
I think we recovered all of our space pilots.
Yeah, we lost one X-wing pilot. That was it.
Okay.
That wasn't one of ours.
Even
though,
ours,
was it?
so yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Wasn't
an
ours.
Incom pilot.
I believe you guys did
Over.
lose
Did we lose a pilot? I thought we recovered all of our pilots. Because it was
be honest, I don't
Malice that was
remember if
flying
I
the
got-
Reaper. Picked them all up.
No.
You had 3 people flying Caesar at one point, which was very helpful.
Oh, Miles was
Every pilot that survived their ejection was recovered. Unfortunately, some did not survive the ejection.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Mhm.
I believe you had 3 people EVA that you recovered. I believe one person did not make it. possibly was one of your own and an incom engineer. Might have just been the incom guy. I don't recall off the top of my head. I will check the tapes.
Yeah.
That tree has a vagina.
Fuck.
Lyra, thinking back to you hear it right?
I think they stepped away for just a second to grab their
And
food.
we will wait on that until they're back. Let us talk about something else. Hockey, have you decided what you would like to do with your X-Wing?
We'll just improve the maneuverability and the speed. And
Those two things are hard to do together, but can be done.
I'm sure that'll take up 2 or 3 hard points.
Yes.
Gonna
That'll
add a
take up-
hard point with Woggy.
And they got a bonus, so I was giving them, because they're pre-production, they also have some more overhead. So they had a total of 3 for the others. If you're working with Woggy to add another one. So, do you want the reinforced shield generator or no?
Do I get a reinforced shield generator, and would it be possible to swap the proton torpedo launcher with assault concussion missile launchers?
Assault concussion missiles are not
huge.
starfighter weapons.
Those are like 24
Those
inch.
Those are ship weapons.
Those
They
are like
are
24 inch fucking torpedoes, essentially.
it's comparing a standard. It's comparing a Sidewinder to a standard missile. It's a bit of a difference.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, standard missile not a great example because some aircraft can fire them, but I guess single concussion missiles could be fired. Like the K-wing
best
probably
way-
carried those.
Best way to think of it is.
I was gonna say, what?
Could
It's
you,
not
could you
unheard
sling
of.
it under the wing? Could you sling it under the wing? Yes. Can you put it in the internal bay? No.
Yeah. All right, I'm preparing Alpha, so we're gonna keep the shield. We're gonna get rid of the advanced the targeting array.
Just aim with your eyes. It's easier that way anyway.
Yep, and then you want to replace the torpedo bay with. We could do concussion missiles. We could do ion torpedoes. We could split it. You could have one of each.
I can do proton and concussion.
You could do one proton torpedo launcher, one concussion missile launcher. Be an interesting choice.
Well,
One proton torpedo, one ion torpedo could be cool.
yeah.
Or
the iron
I would
torpedo.
also allow you to add 2 additional laser cannons and just have 6 laser cannons.
Oh my god.
Yeah, let's fucking do that.
All right, linked 5. Here we go. Sextuple medium laser cannons. That's a way to do it.
What a better way to outfit, or there is no better way to outfit an X-Wing.
Operation DACA.
Hey, sweet boy. You're very cuddly right now.
You kitten playing fun?
He's just being cuddly.
All right, and then you want to add, what was your other modification you'd asked for? You
Well,
want to improve
the prototype-
maneuverability.
The prototype X-wing I was looking at had like fucking repulsor or
The repulsors
maneuvering-
are already there.
had maneuvering repulsors in its S foils when they opened up for extra maneuverability and dogfighting.
I believe all of them have that. I think that's just
They
part of
could.
the lore of one of the things the X-Wings have.
I think, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So we are going to install an engine ring stabilizer, which is going to improve your maneuverability by 1. To a 2, which means you get 2 boosts on your piloting checks.
Damn.
You get 1 boost per point of maneuvering. If it's negative, you lose 1. You get 1 setback. And then those upgrades you don't need to pay for. Anything you work on with Woggy, adding some additional, those you do need to pay for. Look for something that takes 1 hard point. And then I'll probably have to find the because most of those are actually the pod racer versions. But for now, I will figure ownership. Oh, I just realized Tarnus actually has ownership over that one as well, which he should not. Tarnus should not have ownership over Malice's X-Wing. Very good. Yeah, so I like the dichotomy of these 3 X-Wings, or well, the trichotomy at this point. We have the various options that Incom was considering as either upgrade packages or potentially even just add to the base version. We've got Tarnus's, which was let's talk about adding a modular missile bay for, maybe forces that don't just want some proton torpedoes, so I'm a little bit more flexible. A little bit too expensive to implement in broad scale, but offers quite a variety of options when it comes to actually attacking things. We've got Malice's X-Wing, where we've combined the laser cannons with ion cannons, so they can be both simultaneously. A little bit heavier, probably, but it's still got the proton torpedoes, and, it's a very capable little ship. Advanced targeting array, the reinforced shield generators still giving them some good defense. That's an excellent option. And then we got Alphas, which said, fuck these proton torpedoes, I'm going to stick 2 more medium laser cannons in there, so there are now 6.
That's literally, I'm just here to wreck face and fly away.
It's the early to mid-war British aircraft doctrine of just stick 4 more 303s on it.
I was gonna say this is that Spitfire that just had 650 cals on it.
A lot of them had that. This is approaching Typhoon territory in terms of just rate of fire.
The Typhoon
had 12 303s.
That was one variant. There was another that had 4 fucking Hispanos.
Yes, that was the better variant. That was the later one. Basically, they took one look at it and said, okay, so we can do what the Americans... There were 2 theories. There was the lots of ammo theory, the high accuracy theory, and the high damage theory. Lots of ammo and the big ammo theory. Some countries had a little bit of machine gun and a lot of cannon and some cannon, or only cannon, and then you had limited ammo, but you did a lot of damage. The US said 50-50, and we got 50 cals everywhere.
You guys had a lot of leftover 50s from World War I, and a lot of those became aircraft 50s.
Yep. There was a story some years ago about like a National Guard armory that was doing inventory and found a first production lot M2 in their arsenal.
Doesn't surprise me.
They're like, how the fuck do we still have this?
Because you ordered all of them.
we just basically gave the factories carte blanche. Just make them. We'll figure it out later.
That entire first batch, you guys bought. That's where you guys started the tradition of buying a ton of platforms. Was with that in this 1903 Springfield.
We built over 3 million 50 cals, most in the 1930s and 40s. We produced 2 million of them during World War II alone.
And about a third of those at least went into aircraft, at least.
I think more of them went onto vehicles ultimately, but yes, a lot of them went into aircraft. A lot of them were ANM2s or ANM3s.
Well, because you guys did subscribe to the 50 cal theory, as I like to call it.
Yep.
Which was 4 to 6 50 cals and 1,000 to 2,800 rounds of ammunition, and you just fucking pump rounds into that. You get as close as you can to Jerry and pump his asshole full of rounds.
Exactly, as I was saying. It's basically the concept of we're going to have as many rounds as possible. They won't be as damaging as a cannon, but when you get hit with 6 of them...
Now this is where the
we should probably
109
get back to the end, though. I don't want to dismiss the conversation, but it's...
But that your 50 cal theory worked well against the Japanese because of their paper thin armor, and the Germans because their tails were very weak, so they'd actually snap off with 2 or 3 strikes. We could actually pull that off. But yeah.
Anyway. V, are you back? Okay. We will talk about the individual that V knows at some point later. For now, based on the reports you got from Cade and Cole during their initial scouting, you have an idea that this Venator-class Star Destroyer is more or less derelict. There was no lights on, no sign of power, though you don't know if that means everything's dead or it was all shut down. There's no sign of life on board, at least you weren't able to get a good scan that said anything other than death was there, or, well, absence of life. But it is a warship, could be hard to fully hide everything. Though, anything alive in there would need to be able to tolerate the cold, because it is near enough vacuum temperature by now. The ship is tumbling end over end on multiple axes. It is incredibly dangerous to get near it. So the question is, how do you plan on landing aboard it? I will note its ventral, not its dorsal, its ventral hangar door is open.
We have multiple ships that have tractor beams, don't we? Or tractor...
Hold on. If the hangar door is open, that means you can line it up to where you can get the ship to land in the hangar door, activate the magnetic landing clamps in time so that the landing gear absorbs the impact.
Okay, so I'm with you, but when I went to do that initially, I was gonna upgrade the difficulty, I believe it was twice, and then add 2 setback.
It was going to be a daunting check, double upgrade difficulty. It was a very, very dangerous process because the door is not open all the way, and it is completely dark, very hard to see, and spinning wildly. Not just like it's not end over end; it's kind of corkscrewing through space.
That's fine.
Now it's not extreme, but it's very hard to match that motion.
Mm-hmm. It's basically roll, yaw, and pitch, turn at the same damn time.
All right. I volunteer. We put Dum Dum in a fucking aircraft and send him over.
Oh God,
What
no!
the
I am
fuck
not
did
letting him
just come
fly
back to?
anything.
I come back and you're talking about putting Dum Dum in his own ship? Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yes,
We
yes,
will
yes.
never see him
Don't
again.
answer that. I know the answer to that already.
I wouldn't even trust I barely trust Dum Dum around the vehicles as is.
Here's the better question. What ship were you planning to put him in? Because I'm not giving my fighters over to that.
Nope.
I'm not giving over. I'm not.
We're trying to make
That's a
Dum
good
Dum
question.
like a
Where were you
suicide
planning on
pilot?
putting our droid?
All right. So what if we put a smarter droid that had jetpack abilities and just sent them to go do it? Like do some R2D2.
We have an astromech.
shit.
We have a new
Yeah,
astromech that can talk.
Yeah, let's just send an astromech to go do some R2D2 hero shit and see how well that works.
I mean, you can certainly try.
Look, R2D2 could propel himself pretty fucking quickly, and in the vacuum of space, there's technically no.
I would
not
like to
really
point out
any
that that is
resistance.
R2D2.
There was a whole arc about a bunch of droids going on a mission. Come on now.
Most of them made it.
Mm-hmm. You know, we have seen an astromech strapped to the front of a clone before that had a jetpack. We can just do that.
I mean, Ghost, we've seen what you can do with an astromech, a storage container, and a broken gun from an X-Wing.
We are not making a lunatic.
Yeah.
So when I left, we were thinking of really scary ideas to break you. You know what we haven't touched and Wagi hasn't done anything with yet?
Oh.
The Kyber Crystal.
That's true.
I don't like that idea already.
Don't we also have like a shit ton of iridium?
You sold
I
off a
wouldn't say
lot of
a
it, but you
shit
still
ton.
have some.
Mm-hmm.
Those are for special grenades.
Wagi was trying to make a small weapon of mass destruction with a Kyber Crystal.
I still am.
Oh, you are working on it?
You think
I
I'm
like
gonna
how
stop?
homie's smoking the ganja and you just casually hear at the fucking. I still am.
At least it wasn't him yelling from outside into his window.
This is true. But also, I think it'd be better. A big Kyber Crystal would be better use of, I don't know, putting into a laser cannon or something.
That's exactly what he's trying to do with it.
I will say,
We not
Wagi,
make a
you
mini
are not-
star right now.
Cade is not directly familiar with what the parameters of Kyber crystals are. You will need to run experiments.
Oh yeah.
What are we at Los Alamos all of a sudden?
You need to take that off the base before you start running experiments with blaster tech.
You just hear a rumble and look over, and the hangar is no longer present.
Did
Nope,
did any of you
get
guys?
him off the
30 minutes
base.
later, there's a bunch of Inquisitor ships above our heads.
Did you guys watch Evangelion?
No.
No. Okay.
I've seen a bit of it.
Mm.
Why?
The laser that blows a hole through a mountain. We could make something like that.
Oh,
What the
no.
wait, is that the
No,
same laser?
no.
Is that the same purple laser they put on an airplane that pops a bunch of popcorn in a house?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Oh, you know what your Y-Wing? You need to start marking your kills on your Y-Wing.
I assumed you've
Like-
all been marking your kills on your craft.
You know what? Wagi's missing one. A mountain. Just a picture of a mountain. He's blown one up already.
You're like, what's the big triangle? Is that a Star Destroyer? No.
That's the small section of a planet that I
what
blew
ship
up.
did we extract in?
Reaper.
So wouldn't it belong on the Reaper?
It
No.
would.
Because
Well,
we were.
Wagi's the one
No,
that did
what-
it, though.
No, I
It
understand
actually,
Woggy's
hang
the
on,
one.
guys. It actually belongs on the Triuna because that was the ship that did the shooting.
Okay.
And also add in the fucking two or three villages that also got.
Because I
Nuked
was
with
going to
it.
say it's whatever ship we
There's
deployed.
just 2,000
whatever ship we
little
deployed.
child-sized stick figures right on the side of the.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then the
let's do
slap
that.
charges that I placed all around the
Mouse
base.
actively avoids the Triuna.
You did those by hand. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's from whatever ship you deployed in, like how the only fucking people were in World War II.
Yeah, it's USS Barb sank a train. We get
Yeah,
it.
yeah. That was with deployed commandos. It's the same thing.
Also, the only Americans to step foot on Japan soil during the war.
Yeah,
that
that's what I
weren't
was gonna-
shot down over it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there were plenty of pilots who were shot down.
Yep.
Most
You
of them
could,
didn't.
you could technically say the only ones that successfully invaded. Technically.
Yes, they are the only ones that actually invaded. Period.
So what are we working on right now?
Venator.
Yeah.
You guys are going
Did
to
you decide what you wanted for your ship?
I need to go to the bathroom, but keep
Just
talking,
increase
and I will
maneuverability.
message if you
And
say
six
something.
quad
come here.
lasers. Or sorry,
I-
six laser cannons instead of standard 4.
Oh, okay. I was like, there's already 4 on there.
Now there's 6 lasers.
What
I
we could
definitely think
do
that we
is
should use what ships we have with tractor cannons to like at
Stabilize
least
it.
slow,
tractor beam.
at least slow
yeah.
the movement. Oh yeah, tractor beam. Same across like thousands of
Oh, yeah.
kilometers.
Okay, so
But-
just to be clear, we're talking about a ship that is like what 1.3 kilometers long, some shit like that.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Mm.
You do realize the mass is involved with this, right?
Oh yeah. That's why it's gonna take a minute. It's why it's a whole mission.
The Venator is 1.14 kilometers long.
Yeah. So the
What we-
Jesus Christ. So the
What we
second
could do
that
is
we,
use the tractor beams to get them
No.
latched onto the proper angle.
the problem with latching on our tractor beams is unless we overcome the mass of the ship with our thrusters that are on it, we're going to be spinning with it. With the
That's
Well,
what
tractor.
I'm saying.
we're not gonna stop it. There's no way we can stop it, but we can slow it.
Oh my
Ho-
so,
hockey.
hey,
What I'm suggesting is we do spin with it, get it to, and then slowly
Interstellar
reel
this
ourselves
bitch.
in.
hey.
Depending at what G-forces that is at,
It's not moving that much. It's probably like a G and a half.
alright.
That and
Just-
most
just
shi-
we do-
most
we-
ships
we do
have good
have-
enough
We
gravity
do have
compensators.
dampening fields inside our ship that for G-forces that can fail, and when those fail, we have a fucking problem. Big problem.
The main thing
Human
will be getting
tomato
sick
paste
from
problem.
looking out at the movement.
Mhm.
That bitch is fucked up looking.
You guys know he's not gonna let us get a Venator, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, he will.
Yeah,
well,
That's just going too far.
depending on how,
Oh,
depending
Exile
on
can
when
still
we
hear
get
us. It will be a
I know.
prolonged process to slow it down. Grab on and use the thrusters from the slowing ships. You can gradually stop the rotation.
hmm
Alright. Grab the capital ships and the fucking biggest goddamn gunships we got with it.
Yep.
I wouldn't recommend any gunships unless you want to bring them just as potential escorts
Do you think
to
we're gonna use
keep
for boarding
salvagers
craft?
away. I mean,
We
yeah.
are literally recreating this scene in much bigger scale.
Unless you want to dock the Serenity's Edge to the bottom of the Venator.
You'd have to slow the fucker down.
Oh,
first.
that's not gonna taste good. I just dunked one of my chicken wings into garlic sauce, and it's a mild buffalo. This is gonna be nasty.
Why the fuck would you do that?
The ranch was the cup next to it, and it's dark in here. Actually, doesn't taste that bad, but I'm also feeling pretty good.
Yeah, it's gonna be infinitely harder.
So what we can do is have a board. Is after we slow it down, is have a boarded craft go in
Yes,
and activate the thrusters. Ideally,
I would say both the
That's
Sparrowhawk
assuming that they
and
work.
the Reaper.
well,
As
we've
like a
got
boarding
ships that are
party.
large enough that it'll transport emergency power cells to a Venator. They're carryable by 2 men.
Do we have any?
That's going to be a roll now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
He showed.
Ooh, I wonder if I could be like, hey, I know a guy, and then contact my dude about bringing us some power cells.
Do you have a skill for that?
No, but I literally do know a guy.
Okay, you already know the guy. You can't just pull
Yeah,
him out.
I already know the guy. It's not like, hey, I know a guy, but
yeah,
then
it's
like
not like
the
you and
DM
your infinite
creates a
fucking
random
Rolodex
person.
over there.
it's like I've already interacted
Ghost can
with
do
this
something
person. They
similar,
used to
he
be a
just
squad
hasn't.
mate.
I know a place.
He's also got
So
Batman's
does- yeah, so
utility
does
belt.
Ghost.
That he does.
Now, another thing we can do is go after a cache or two, because I do know where some old war caches are. as
I will
well.
also. So if we do get this Venator, we could take the Venator to Telos.
We don't know the condition of it though. And
We don't know the
also,
condition.
and also,
but like
Telos is probably
Yes,
going to get
Tristan,
hot.
Tristan, that's what the if is for.
yeah, like if it's in good enough condition, if we can bring power cells onto the ship, get the ship up, we can take that ship to Telos, and then ragtag throw all the broken down Arc 170s that are on Telos into the Venator, and then bring them back to
Ballsy.
Tandoon.
No, if we get if we get that shit onto the Venator, they go anywhere other than Tandoon.
Mm-hmm. That
We're
ship
probably gonna
goes.
stay on the Venator, honestly.
Venators are easy to track.
Yep.
We cannot bring a capital ship of that size to Tandoon.
We have to
We
find
will
that
bro-
fucking.
that will be broadcasting where the fuck we are. We can't land it on the planet.
Yes, we can. What are you talking about?
No, we're not landing
Not-
a Venator on a planet.
We wouldn't be able to take
we
off.
don't know. I was gonna say we don't know the state of it. Even if like the engines are in
It's-
flyable state, we
This is
can't
probably
guarantee
gonna
that they
be,
hold together to on a planet
Yeah, this
entry
is-
and exit.
This
You're
is probably
forgetting
going to
we
be
have-
like
okay,
a
first up,
multi-year
y'all-
recovery.
Y'all are forgetting we have a fucking Botha.
Not right now, we don't.
Yeah. I do know some people that could help us probably fix the Venator. Maybe.
We'd also have to go to some
It'll-
scrapyards.
Oh, I
like
definitely
Jeff.
know.
It'll cost
Yeah,
us.
we still. That was my next big thing after we did the raid on Jabba's palace. Ooh, I'm itching, man. I'm itching. It's starting to feel like Dave Chappelle in that show that he did. You
Oh,
know,
yeah,
I just
the
want a
butter-
peanut
the
butter and
butter
crack sandwich, bro. I want to go to Boda Jeff. When are we going to Boda Jeff?
Well, if Beowulf's sick
Mhm.
next week, then we can do it next week.
Well, next week is Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 3 days after.
And I guess. If it,
I mean, Christmas is on a Wednesday this year.
I'll be able to
We
hold
can't hear
one,
you.
but it's gonna just depend on who's available. Because I understand
Hey,
like, a lot of people are traveling for the holidays, seeing their family. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Foggy, you going to
it's
see
the
your
reason
dad?
I'm in a hotel.
Huh, no.
I think everybody else is at home right now.
I'm at my personal home, but I live 20 minutes to half an hour from my parents. So
Oh. I would.
26-hour drive. Fuck my life.
To where?
South Carolina.
Ew.
Yeah.
Honestly, I
26
don't even know where
hours.
It
they
is
put
the
Well,
inferior Carolina.
Go
You know,
fuck
South
yourself.
Carolina is one of the 4 states where weed is completely illegal in any form.
Yeah, don't remind me.
What are
Just
the other
stock
three?
up in Tennessee. Idaho, Kansas, I think.
I wouldn't say
There's
just
6
stock
of
up
them.
before you go home.
I'm gonna guess
That's-
Mississippi.
We
No.
Number one, I can't. Number two, it's highly
It's Wyoming,
illegal. So if
Idaho, Kansas, and South
Yeah,
Carolina.
that's.
If you
even
get caught
you
with it, you're
Mississippi
going to
bring
jail.
is
like
decriminalized and
eighth?
medical is approved.
even if you only bring like an eighth, as soon as, especially like legal to legal states, it still counts. Trafficking is you cannot move a controlled.
You can still move
substance.
as long as you have less than the possession limit and you're traveling legal state to legal state. You're fine. If you have any more, they can charge you with interstate drug trafficking.
Yeah. And if
So
you're going
don't do
from
that.
a legal state to a not legal state, it doesn't matter what you have.
I will say this though, I've flown with like distillate cartridges and pens many times.
Edibles. I've flown with edibles a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
don't.
don't-
People are. They're not looking for it.
No, they're looking.
My mom
for
has worked for
actual
TSA.
marijuana.
They do not give a fuck. They are looking for explosives and weapons. They don't give a fuck about drugs. Customs, on the other hand,
Unless you have an insane amount of drugs. If you have, if they look in your
Yeah.
fucking suitcase and it is just gallon Ziploc bag after gallon Ziploc bag full of weed, they're gonna have some questions.
Yeah, the question
Yeah,
is,
those-
what are you doing?
those
Going to
scary.
meet Snoop?
Snoop Dio Double G, cuz.
No, that's when you get
God.
pulled That's when you get pulled aside and start getting questioned for trafficking a Schedule 1 narcotic.
That's Schedule 3 now.
No,
Oh, is that-
just because he signed an executive order doesn't mean it's changed.
It's
That's
about to
not
be.
law.
They just it's so the FDA controls that, and the order tells them to change it. They are going to change it. So one advantage of Trump putting his people in charge of everything is they'll do what he says in this one case.
Wonky, how do you have how do you remove 2 setbacks from your athletics checks? What the fuck is that?
Clone bullshit.
One of them is because of my species, and then both of them are because of my flight suit. Because with one of the hard points on my flight suit, I made it form
Can you
fit.
please show them your resilience roll?
Oh, we know what it is. You know, well, it's funny as shit that you haven't put any
I
points
don't.
into like the core skills, but you just keep putting ranks into everything else.
Yeah, because train
at Triumph.
skill. If train
still
skill
triumphantly
really,
fucking
really well, then when I train thing that trains skill, the skill that's trained gets better.
I think I just had a stroke. Not you, but me.
Dude, your resilience check is as good as my stealth check. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's only level 2 too. Crazy how that works.
I think overall my best roll is my gunnery skill.
Hockey, I think your best check is your ranged heavy, right?
Technically athletics.
Oh, do you have remove setback stuff on there?
Because it has 3 boost die.
Oh, shit.
1 from clone, 2 from armor.
So nothing I have gives me a boost on my roll unless I want it to. I don't naturally get any setback. Oh no, I have 1 remove setback, but that's because of stuff.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that I gave myself a stealth module on my backpack.
Jesus Christ! Of course you did.
Yeah, so I have no ranks in stealth, but it's not bad.
Was Wagi part of the same legion as me?
No, he was an entirely different command structure. He was a pilot, so he was attached to the open circle fleets. So there's every possibility you guys were involved in the same campaign at one point. However, he would not be serving on the ground. At the absolute closest you may have come is he might have given air support without your knowledge. You would not have known what squadrons were acting with you because he was not directly affiliated with any Jedi fleets in particular. He was just part of a task force and part of a ship's squadron.
The 104th, like the 501st, had their own fighter squadrons as well.
So there were ships that carried the clone legions that were basically. Imagine if you put it into a 40k con. Compare it to 40k, so you understand. You have the Astartes, you have the battle barges, and the strike cruisers. That's what the clone ships that were oddball flew with the 212 and things like that. He was serving in the Navis Imperialis. He was just on a naval ship somewhere. By that analogy.
Yep.
It is a weird world where making the comparison between Star Wars and 40k is used to simplify the Star Wars description.
Except cases where you have Bane who shows up multiple times and with the 104th.
In any case.
Oh, I forgot the 104th was at both battles of Felucia.
Yep.
Yeah, poor bastards.
Yep. And the first battle of Geonosis and quite a few other ones.
Like all of them were at the first battle of Geonosis.
Yeah, all the first.
Well,
regions, yeah.
Some of them, because I think clones had a ridiculous loss rate.
Well, they were not exactly well led.
Well, yeah. Anyways, what are we doing?
The matter at hand. What is your plan for the Venator? Have you come up with a solution here,
Captain?
Try and
reminder,
slow its rotation.
Hold the rank of captain, so that's a very open-ended question he just stated.
I think it would be best to try and slow at least one vector of movement. So, like, even though it's traveling on 3 different axes, try and slow one of them to make it easier to get onto the ship.
At least.
If not, slow them down each individually, which would be a longer and more arduous process, but I feel like would be the easiest and most
Why can't we just
non-lethal.
do the hard space equivalent of attaching our grapples to it and holding left control?
Because it's not
Because you don't have a
just
ship with
going.
enough
dying.
mass to act as a direct counterweight to that. You would break
Yeah.
any possible tether.
We would get slung shot through space.
So the same thing that would happen with a tractor beam.
Well, no, because a tractor beam will just break lock if it's pulled too hard. It'll do whatever momentum it can, and then you'll just break the lock. It's not going to drag the ship along with it, usually. Though they can be very strong.
If we somehow stole the patrol cruiser in Andor,
Oh, the Arrestor Cruiser? Yeah, that'd be an interesting choice.
We did commandeer the
I will say, your current fleet consists of a very hastily patched up Imperial Gazanti, which has a tractor beam.
Yep.
Your other Sea Rock Gazanti, the Aurora Lance, which has a tractor beam. The Action 4 Shimmer Point, which has a tractor beam. And Beacon of Dawn, the CR-90, the DP-20 Vigil's End, and the... No, Reckless does not have a tractor beam. They put all the other shit into missiles.
Don't forget about the medium freighter.
Second Chance can try. It's not exactly... It's pretty lightweight. It has a light-duty tractor beam. Basically, every ship has at least a light-duty tractor beam.
and Serenity's
ship's
Edge, right?
still at 4
Serenity's Edge has a tractor beam.
A light-duty one. Mostly used
Okay.
for, like, picking up small objects or crew. It's not a combat tractor beam.
Okay.
Did we have Len juice it up?
No, because if you start overloading tractor beams, you create more problems.
Hang on.
You do a mechanics check. Yep.
Like getting a lot of extra power to it. It would help, but it will not work on its own.
No, I know. Every little bit helps.
The good news is tractor beam components are relatively cheap, so if we do break it, I can get parts.
We could always upgrade it at some point.
And spend all the power we had for weapons on pull?
This is like a one-trick pony. I heard of an interesting little maneuver that someone did once.
That hasn't happened yet, if you're thinking of the one I'm thinking of. Are you
Yes,
thinking
but
of
someone else-
the one during the Zinj
Yes.
campaign? Yeah.
Yes.
First of all, that is a very, very niche situation.
What if
I'm not even
Ghost
thinking-
makes a daunting piloting space check with 2 setbacks
Ugh.
To do what?
to come up with the idea on his own, to come up with the maneuver?
I'm not Corellian.
Please explain the maneuver at this stage, or I can do it. Tractoring yourself to the moon so that you can use your engines to kick up dust so a Star Destroyer can't shoot you.
What does that have
And
to
then-
do with what we're trying to do?
I said we could use it later on. I didn't say anything about it being useful in this situation.
What the fuck?
And so basically,
That-
the idea is if a tractor beam is listed, it has a either combat or like major utility purpose versus just like every ship has a tractor beam. It's how most ships dock.
Could we call in a favor to the Rebellion to see if they have a ship with a strong tractor beam? That's all we need.
I would say with the... Okay, so hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With the 6 capital ships you have, the 6 corvettes, you can...
Okay.
Like, I will say, it will take some effort, and you'll be leaving Tandun relatively undefended, but if the Empire knew where you were, they'd come down so hard, there wasn't much you'd be able to do besides save your
I
fleet.
say if they knew where we were, we would be fighting them right now.
Yeah. And Reckless would still be there just to rain hell on whoever does try to fuck with you while the others try to escape.
Yeah.
Let's be real. If they show up, we're going to need that Venator even more. Because that will become the mobile home for us. at that
Yep.
point.
The thing that can be tracked easily?
Mobile home? What do you mean? That's gonna be a goddamn fire ship, bro.
I say I'm pretty sure our base is
it can be-
smaller than the. Than
It can be tracked if we
Very much so.
use hyperspace lanes. Can't be tracked if we stay outside the fucking galaxy with it.
Oh.
Or stick to the smaller, less regulated lanes.
Mm-hmm.
That too.
I say, is our base bigger or smaller than, say, a fully crewed Venator at this point?
You have about 300 personnel in total at this stage, as the size you've grown to.
So
A
not
lot
nearly
smaller.
enough.
I'd say you have about
Wait,
a
is this
third
a
of the
Venator
crew
1 or
needed to
2?
properly crew a Venator minimum.
You need
However,
like 2,000.
skeleton crew, you absolutely have enough people to get it operational. If you had the resources and it was in a good enough condition.
Is this a Venator 1 or 2?
Venator only had one variant. You're thinking Victories.
No,
No,
there's
I'm looking at
two variants.
There's a
There's
Venator
two
1 and
variants.
Venator 2.
What?
The Venator 2 had the smaller opening as well. It was the big opening. Well, the Venator 1 just
What
had
is
the
this
massive
canon
door.
bullshit? Yeah, this is
From the
old
Clone
one.
Wars.
This is the old one. This is No, this is the Venator 2 was invented as the Star Wars Armada and then retroactively applied to Attack of the Clones, which it wasn't
Venator
even in.
was introduced in Republic Reinforcements, an article released by Fantasy Flight Games.
So
for
they
Star
invented
Wars
it for this?
No, for Star Wars Armada, the tabletop.
Yeah,
Which
I
that's
think
really
that
The same people.
Again, something that was invented just to sell minis. I will say this: it is a traditional, normal Venator, still in Republic
Okay.
livery, in fact.
Well, that'll definitely have to change.
Yes, but paint is relatively cheap by comparison.
Yeah.
Well,
Here's the important question: which type of dorsal docking bay does it have? Does it have the main big part opens, or is it just a smaller door up top?
It is the ventral open currently. It is the ventral opening.
No. Just like which variant?
Big ass door, the one that opens to either side.
Okay.
I'll set up
Okay,
like
you know
Star
the
Wars
one
rules.
Venator model used in every single episode of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It's that one.
Okay, that one. Got it.
All right, well let's rally the troops and go get ourselves a Venator.
All right.
How are we on the I know a guy to come and help
The shipyard guy that I
rat?
used my ability for. Yeah.
You
Oh, well,
have
not-
you've worked with quite a few shipwrights over the years. You worked with a small ring of very competent individuals to customize your personal craft, which, well, you, in retrospect, wish you'd put a better hard drive and maybe a Murphy bed into. It is a very, very luxurious little shuttle. However, all of them are a bit too high profile, a bit too professional even, to really acquire for the rebellion. And they all, despite the issues on Mandalore, likely still have jobs, families, reasons to stick around and keep their noses down. There have also been some less savory people you've had to work with over the years. One of them, in particular, doesn't appeal to you in any way whatsoever, but does seem to be an option.
Okay.
1 second, I lost the fucking name. I wrote it down in them
Hey,
page.
hey, Exile.
Yeah.
Could my contact be of any use in this situation?
Which contact? The ex-girlfriend?
Uh-huh.
Potentially, though that would probably be something you need after determining the state of the Venator.
Yeah, that's true.
And to be fair, the individual you're thinking of, the Brannick Groft, a slovenly man looks to be in his 60s, so you suspect he's actually a bit younger and just cares about himself so little as to look about 15 to 20 years older than his actual age. He is not a person you've had pleasant dealings with. He is untrustworthy. He is unreliable. He is very good at what he does. But he is not a people person. And he does owe you a favor. Or, well, probably more than that. Last you heard, he'd gone back to Balmora. He grew up in one of the undercities there, and likely runs a shop, probably not too far off from those undercities. You wouldn't go so far as to call him a savant when it comes to machinery, but he is certainly very capable, and had a large number of droids working for him when he was doing custom jobs, mostly for pirates and other members of the criminal underworld. The idea of seeing him again does make your skin crawl a bit, but if you needed a mechanic who you could control, he might be an option. Appearance-wise, it is a rather relatively short man, probably about 5'4" to 5'5", yet probably pushing 350 pounds. Rarely seen in anything approaching clean clothing, and smelling broadly of oil and flatulence whenever you've had an encounter with the man.
So he's the opposite of my royal upbringing.
He is human trash who thinks he's hot shit sometimes.
Oh, so he's the equivalent of, like, space trailer trash.
Yes. Yeah. Brannick is not exactly someone that you've had pleasant dealings with. Not the least of which is that he's always badly hitting on you and basically any other woman around.
Oh, this should be a fun
not too
interaction
aggressively,
with
but
him
just
and Tesh.
awkwardly.
I'm going to get this guy and bringing Tesh with me. Make the DM talk to himself.
That's a real power play.
Oh.
Look at me. I am the captain.
The voices I have in mind is going to be such a fucking flip-flop.
Oh no!
I say you might want to get some tea or wine.
Because we'll do it later, because Brannick speaks like this.
Oh, God.
God, you might as well just make him Slavic like fucking Len is for some reason.
Don't worry about Len.
Never heard a droid with an accent before, but I'm not hating it at all.
C-3PO's a British
I mean,
accent.
yeah, and what is it? Oh fuck, I don't know why I can't think of his name, but the Imperial prison droid that they have in Rogue One.
K2SO also has a British
K2SO
accent.
also has an accent.
AKA Core World's accent.
Yeah.
Have we ever heard another K2 unit speak?
No.
I don't think so.
Can they speak, or is that something
Yes.
unique to...
No, they
Okay.
can speak. They just... Usually they don't see much more than halt and then proceed to cave someone's skull in.
Good point.
So, in any event, the fleet gathers. We can do Brannick next session. I don't have the willpower to play that right this minute.
You're good.
Gathering the fleet together, it takes several days in transit to reach the jumping off point. Though, now that you know where the ship is, Nanthri is a slightly closer point, or at least a little bit easier to navigate than the deep nebula of Jarula, or near Jarula. those who weren't here last time, or who did not see this ship before, spots just from this distant vantage point, you don't see a ship, but rather you see a black void that seems to be moving across the sky with a very odd, hard to place shape to it as it just blocks out the stars in the distance as it rolls on through. The ship is moving very quickly. It is not accelerating at all, so it's not hard to keep up with, but it was clearly running at full engine and a lot of control input. It appears to be rotating as fast as the ship's systems would have allowed it to. Much faster, and it would start to overcome the structural strength of the ship's keel. As it is, someone who was not there on the first trip is welcome to make a sensor scan, trying to see if they can glean anything from this tumbling derelict. And what ship are you guys all on right now? I imagine you're on Serenity's Edge?
Yeah.
Okay. Serenity's Edge has good sensors. Just keep that in mind.
I mean, anybody but me has got to make this check. I've already seen this thing.
Computers or perception, and I'd say in this case you have some pre-existing info. I'll give you a boost as well for the Serenity's Edge's excellent sensor suite.
I have 3 green for computers and 1 yellow for perception. So somebody else, I know someone's got better perception.
I have 1 yellow, 2 green for computers, and 2 yellow for perception.
I think you should make the perception check.
You should.
Yeah. Yeah, and you get a boost with it.
I can assist if you want me to.
Assistant gives +2 boosts because you are Togruta.
Mm-hmm. I'm just adjusting
it's
the...
just 2 purple?
Yeah, I would say this is a normal check. This is not so much about failing or passing. This is more of how much you succeed by, to determine how much information you gather. That is the most blanks I've seen in a roll like this. I will say this. You confirm the earlier reports. The ship appears completely out of power, or rather, you detect standby power, and that some parts of the ship seem to still have gravity, but not all. And that gravity doesn't necessarily seem to be aligned with the actual up-down you would expect on the vessel. It might be 20 to 60 degrees off axis from where it's supposed to be.
Thank goodness for grav boots. Or metal magnet boots, whatever they are.
Mag boots, yes.
Yep, mag boots.
I will also say that
trying to get on
you
that
do
thing
not
with
detect
magnets.
any real visible life signatures, and you detect that the interior of the ship is approaching that of space. That some of the ship still seems to have pressure, but it has been dead in space for 13, 14 years, and it is very much approaching background temperature. You're talking maybe 15 to 20 degrees Kelvin on the warmer parts of the ship.
So what I'm hearing is stood up in, like, anti-atmosphere.
You will need to be in space suits. Proper pressurized suits for this.
Me too.
You will need additional oxygen bottles because you have a limited breath time. But if you can wire those in, then yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can survive for like 2.5 hours in space, so I'm pretty
I
good.
still recommend everybody carries extra air because I don't want to have to keep track of your air supply.
Speaking of which, I am going to use this opportunity to swap what gear I'm wearing.
Oh, what what about the rat contact? Would that be
What are you asking of Rat? Because you have this direct line.
Yeah, I want to know if he has just a small, like, quick engineering crew that could possibly bring like some fuel cells if need be, and I can pay for it all.
He does not have on hand the kind of team that he could trust with this mission. However, talking shop with him for a bit, you realize that the same power cells that are standard on the Serenity's Edge are not the primary kind, but the kind that runs most of the secondary and subsystems and the backup power on Venators. There was a very standard design from before the Clone Wars that is still made. And you have a large number on hand, so you do have the option of bringing power cells from Serenity's Edge over to at least turn certain things on. However, you do not have quantity nor the resources to start the ship up again on hand right now.
I would say primary thing we get restarted is gravity gens and then atmosphere.
Heat.
Yeah. Get the fucking life support running again.
We brought the CR20, right?
You brought fucking everything.
Yeah.
You
majority of
did
everything.
bring most things. You can have brought the CR20. It
think
does
it would be
not
smart.
have a tractor beam, but it could carry things.
Yeah,
If you want to
that
tell me
was my
what you
entire
put on
thought
board.
process. Just like thinking that it could go and like maybe do a like supplies run when needed, carry extra fuel cells that we would need.
Okay.
So we're not taking anything directly off the Serenity's
You
Edge.
could also just use the Gazanti for that too. So
Which
your
one?
ship.
Aurora Lance or the Imperial one?
I would recommend the Aurora Lance since it's,
Yeah, I don't
it's
think
not
the
wanted by
Imperial
the
one would be
Empire
the
right
best
now.
That's true. It's one of the few ships you have that actually has cover story, like still.
Yep. I really hate not having a mouse, damn it. As far as refueling, if we can get the engines up and running, I know of a place that hasn't been completely.
For all you know,
stripped.
it's half full.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could just be could just been
No, no,
scrammed.
no. He's saying that in regards to the place I know.
Oh no, I was talking about the ship. The ship could be half full
Oh.
of fuel. You don't know. You just know it's dead.
Yeah, the engines scrammed and all that.
Now, for this maneuver, as you bring your flotilla into position to try and start slowing it, I will need a hard difficulty piloting check from whomever is flying the Serenity's Edge.
I
act as
will
the
do that.
coordination.
I think I'll do that. Hard. So that's 3 purple.
That it is. And in fact, because there's so many, how about you upgrade that so it's 1 red and 2 purple?
Woof.
Fucking okay.
Haha!
If indeed. It takes a few minutes and a couple of false starts due to this more of me explaining the threats to get into the correct position. What you eventually settle on is all of your ships effectively drifting alongside it on both left and right of this design, if you consider an up and down to exist. Effectively in like a wheel shape. So one ship will power up its tractor beam, hold on as long as it can, and do full thrust away from the direction of travel, slowing that rotation down. As it breaks tractor beam and gets too far away, it turns around, cycles back while another ship is taken over. And this little dance between these two triplet sets of ships continues for the better part of 8 hours. However, you are gradually able to slow down the rotations, effectively completely canceling out the roll and most of the yaw. It's mostly just pitching now, and it's a relatively gentle motion, only a couple of degrees per second rather than the about 25 that it was doing at one point.
All right. Well, I think we let Len take control of Serenity's Edge, and then we put together a quick little group of people on the Sparrowhawk.
Okay.
So who wants to come?
Else is gonna come.
Might as well.
Bringing
Uh,
the droid.
Yeah, I'll join.
yeah, I was gonna say I'm bringing my 2 droids that should be on the Serenity, so my Recon and my dog.
Okay.
Along with my Recon remote.
Okay.
I am
the remote or
going
the probe droid?
both.
Okay. The full crew of droids going in with Tarnus. Tarnus,
I'm
you're wearing your
gonna-
flight suit, I presume?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna refit my my droidica with his legs
Okay.
and bring him along as well.
Very well.
Would I be able to fly around the outside of the Venator looking for any other openings we could get into other than the main hangar?
Yes. For a time, you certainly could. I'll need a piloting check from you.
Using my jetpack skill?
Yes, so it's going to be technically a piloting planetary despite being in space.
Yep. What's the difficulty?
I'd say no hard, because you are still next to a moving object. You're able to move along, and you see there are plenty of exterior access hatches and doors, all of which appear to be closed and properly sealed. And without power, you would need to use a manual override to get them open, as in crank them open.
Nothing up near the bridges at all is unlocked, open, breached.
Nothing is unlocked. However, give me a perception check while you're out doing this visual inspection.
Also hard?
No, this is average. This is you've got headlights.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, you don't notice anything particularly out of the ordinary. You can see, I'll say this, you do notice that the bridge shutters are closed.
I'm going to relay that to the rest of the team while I'm flying around.
Okay. If anyone who has proficiency in the warfare skill would like to make a average difficulty warfare check to see if there's anything to glean from that information if you haven't thought it through. Or have.
I can make the roll. I don't know if it's going to be any good.
I also could make the roll, but I also don't know if it would be any good.
Yeah.
I have a yellow and a green.
I feel like somebody else should roll this.
Hockey, you
I only have
proficiency
3
in
green.
warfare, don't you?
I
Hockey?
don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Alright.
If nobody's going to do it, then I will. But
I have a yellow, so I can roll.
yeah, might as well.
Sure. Why don't you?
Regular difficulty?
Yeah. You've served on this ship. I should have even given you boost for that. You've served on this model ship before, and you know that the transparent steel bridge windows are very durable. It's rare that you would close the emergency shutters unless there was a breach. And the ship doesn't seem to have been in combat. At least you don't see any obvious signs of battle damage, neither on your scans nor the exterior view. So it is a little peculiar that the shutters are closed, but it's not... It doesn't strike you as nefarious. Just a bit odd.
Alright, well, I'm gonna take us into land.
Okay. Can I get a average... another hard difficulty piloting check, as despite the slowed motion, it is still a docking procedure here.
Okay.
I
As
guess
you
we
were
could have
coming,
given him.
Hold on,
Assist.
wait.
I will say who's gonna if someone wants to assist him.
Mouse
Are
will.
you about to re-roll it with your skill too, Woggy?
He's got a lot of piloting skills. He can read
I
through it.
know.
Let me
I can
read real fast.
assist
Mouse will assist.
if he
Well,
needs.
It Mouse
okay.
gives him 2 boost instead of 1.
Yeah. Well,
To their rank in
what
the
ship are we
guild.
on?
Okay, we're on
ship.
the Sparrowhawk.
Doesn't that have a co-pilot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I roll?
Someone can perform the assist.
Yeah, that's Malice rolling to assist with his
And that's
2 boost.
two boost, yeah.
So I would say Malice just rolled 2 boosts plain to see what you're adding to this roll.
And then I also would like to use. Oh, never mind. That's
It is way more than enough.
Now one more.
yeah.
One third. Okay, great. What's that?
That keeps me from having to use my skill.
Malice, you watch as Cade begins bringing the ship in, and not being used to flying the Sparrowhawk as often, he is not familiar with its tendency to pull to the right when you try and level it out from a climb. And there comes a moment where it looks like you're about to rip off the starboard side engine as you come in a little bit too close to the very edge of this hangar door, and you quickly provide a little bit of control input, just shift the thing over about 10 feet, and you just about slip by through without any major issues.
Oh, another happy landing. Don't have to explain why we took a fumble to our best droid.
It would just roll credits. Campaign over. I'm kidding.
How did it end? Like bugs on a windshield.
Like Minox on a view screen.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, where's my... Landing inside of the deserted hangar of this vessel, which I will note, when you were flying in, initially, you did manage to catch the name, the Final Concorde. Not a ship any of you have ever heard of. Likely one of many, many Venators constructed during the war that just didn't cross any of your paths. Making it through the mostly open, still partially closed ventral hangar door, you find it a little shaky as you rise up through the very much wide open blast door behind that one and into the back of the lower hangar. The air inside is non-existent in this part of the ship. The entire hangar area is completely unpressurized and dark. Switching on your headlights, you see a rather bizarre scene in front of you. Equipment is scattered utterly everywhere. You see an ATTE that appears to have been half shoved into a docking bay on its side. You see parts of starfighters as well as whole starfighters kind of piled up in the corners as if they've been flung there. Others parked reckless, haphazardly, but normally, just skids on the ground. And all throughout the hangar. It is a chaotic space with nothing where it belongs. You also spot roll, not so much moving around at this point, but in various locations, proton torpedoes, concussion missiles, power cells, Tabana gas cylinders, various hazardous goods just slowly drifting around in this space that has no gravity. But you are inside, and now accelerating, or rather moving at the same speed as the hull, there is no relative motion, and it is still for all of you. As you lock the clamps on the magnetic skids on your ship and land here at the back end of this hangar space.
Well, this
So what do you
place
do?
looks like it's seen better days.
First time I've been on one.
It's been too long, yet long enough since I've been on one.
Well, we should probably split up into two
Yeah.
groups. One to engineering area, I guess the other to the bridge.
Yep. I'm gonna go to engineering.
Okay. Who's going with Woggy to engineering?
Malice will.
Okay. Anybody else?
No.
Okay.
I think it would be also smart to guide at least 2 other ships onto the thing. Like if we could contact 2 other ships and then have them get a crew in and maybe like start pulling some of this debris that's floating around in the hangar onto the ground, just in case.
Ghost may be the best person for that. He's the only other pilot
For
guiding 2 other ships on board.
I don't know about hiding, but like we easily come in.
You just see Ghost standing like bag booted to the side of that open hangar space with the ground guide sticks, just kind of.
No, other way.
You just hear no, and then just a squishing sound over comms.
I would kill you.
Yeah, yourself. That would be a horrible way to go.
Did any of you see For All Mankind?
Sounds familiar.
No.
It's a show on Apple TV or Apple. It was very good. 1 second, let me find it.
I don't think I've ever seen anything on Apple TV, so.
Ted Lasso is worth a watch.
Yep, it is. For All Mankind is a very good show, but yeah, I'm trying to find the clip. Here, I'm gonna show. Here, you know what? I'm already streaming on the other monitor. 1 second. Just look over there.
You say you're streaming, but you're not.
You're not streaming. You haven't been this whole time.
Yeah.
I was though. I genuinely was, and it just turned its shit off again. Behold. Let me know when you're ready.
Yep.
So, context here. NASA ship is rescuing the cosmonauts from the breaking Russian ship on the way to Mars. That's the Russian ship.
Brunch.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, it gets worse. Watch this. Glass faceplate shattered. He said 2, and watch this.
Oh, yep, instant death.
Yeah, they lost they lost 2 astronauts and 2 cosmonauts in that thing.
Damn.
Not a good day.
What happened?
Were you
So-
asleep?
No, just wasn't paying attention.
I showed a clip from the show For All Mankind.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people die in that show.
Yeah.
There's a whole terrorist bombing at the end of season 2 or 3. I think it's the end of season 3. Yeah, it's the end of season 3. Poor Ed. Everyone in Ed's life dies. Anyway, you are on board the derelict vessel now. And we have a crew heading towards engineering and a crew heading towards the bridge. I will say, without functioning turbo lifts, this will be a bit of a hike.
Not for me. I can fly.
Not necessarily the whole way. You only have so much fuel. And if there isn't an open access point, it might be tricky. In any event, let's talk to the team going towards engineering first. As you walk towards the back of the hangar, you do actually give me a perception check from both of you.
Oh lord. I don't think you're ready for how bad my perception skill is.
Are you sure? Looks fine to me.
Oh, okay.
Malice, you too.
Perception. Alright.
Both of you are ex-Republic military, so you both served aboard ships, so you're very familiar with the standards and like how things are supposed to be done. And you see that some things have been stored properly. You see a lot of tied down cargo. You see that munitions have been properly stored, but also you see long like scrape marks where equipment's been either dragged or pushed around. You see vehicles that should have been in deep storage, not up here on the hangar deck, up here on the hangar deck. You see no bodies at all. But you'd think if the ship had suffered a major catastrophe, you'd expect some people would have died here. The whole space is depressurized. As you
Does not
continue
feel
down
right here.
It's a bit odd.
There's normally, what, 7,000 crew plus 2,000 clones aboard, plus 2,000 army clones aboard? Roughly.
Give or take. There's no like any other. Is just drug like cargo and stuff. That's it. That's it.
It looks like everything's been moved. It doesn't look like things were necessarily flung around, though some degree that may have been the case. It looks like people got into pallet trucks and moved cargo to random places. As you continue walking back, you find that there is an entire TX-30 Saber tank wedged about 10 feet deep, having been effectively squeezed into the hallway that you need to traverse now. You're actually forced to climb over it and like through a small gap to get to the other side.
Yeah, that
As it's-
meat pie I had earlier is not sitting well. That's lovely.
Sorry to hear that.
Okay.
And looking into the cockpit of this Saber tank, you see that this is the first body you find. It appears to be mostly a skeleton at this point, which implies that it had time to actually decay before vacuum. Based on the uniform, it was a either hangar crewman or like a maintenance worker. No one would be driving tanks around.
Does it look like a clone though? Or does it look like a regular
Yeah,
human?
I saw that, Tarnus. It's very much a human, but you can't tell at this point. One skull looks pretty similar to another as the vacant eyes stare back at you.
But it's a standard uniform, GR uniform. Okay, so it was a ship
standard naval, like the same one worn by most of the people on this ship.
Okay.
Rank wise, they look to have just been effectively, like an E4. Nothing fancy.
Okay, ship crew. All right. Let's keep going.
For means of death, it's unclear, but they clearly couldn't get out the way they're pinned in.
Probably
pinned into the tank.
The tank has kind of ridden into the wall. I will say this: the tank itself, it's like we've rammed a 15-foot wide vehicle into a 12-foot wide hallway. It is scrunched up, and the thing is not perfectly straight in there. It is jammed in there. And so part of the tank is kind of broken and bent down. It is just a tangled mess of broken metal. If people had been around, they would have been able to take things up and get this individual out, but clearly no one helped them out. Or was there to help them out.
So whatever happened to him, it happened while everyone else was getting off the ship.
Or it all happened like maybe I don't know. They would have, if they were getting off the ship, they probably would have gotten him out of the tank.
You haven't seen anything structurally wrong with the ship. You can't imagine why anyone would have needed to abandon it. And your exterior scans showed that while some escape pods were missing, most weren't.
Would we be able to pull him out of the tank and like examine?
Yeah, with some effort. If I get an athletics check from both of you to just start pulling things around, you're aided by the fact that there is very little to no gravity in this particular part of the ship.
Just regular difficulty, or?
Yeah, just a regular difficulty. And there's not too much risk associated with a failure here. Yeah, I'd say between 1 success, 2 advantages, and failure, I'd say it's a prolonged process. But you are able to loosen him up enough that you're able to kind of grab a hold on the top of the jumpsuit and pull what is effectively a sack of bones out of the cockpit of this tank. Yeah, exactly. More like square peg round hole in this instance, though. To be fair, the corners have kind of been cut off.
But
not of the skeleton. The skeleton, you kind of unzip the uniform and the bones start floating out around you. It looks fine. Nothing looks seriously broken or anything.
There's no like tears or anything on the suit. No,
the suit.
Small
the suit is dirty and somewhat tattered, but not like worn out. Like it's been scraped up, or its wearer has torn it, and there are bits of blood dried into it, but not enough to say like, oh, this person was cut and like bled out. No, it's more like this person was like trying to get out and scrape themselves up, or was doing something before they got into the tank that tore their uniform, scraped them up. Like they ran through some brambles is kind of what it looks like. Nothing that should be fatal, but a lot of little cuts and things.
I'll look at the skull to see if anything was fractured on it.
No? Well, give me a medicine check. Give me a medicine check. Looking at the skull, nothing seems immediately broken. But it does seem a little off. Particularly on the kind of the underside of the skull. It's like you see areas where the bone appears to have been sort of eaten away. like right at the base of the skull, like where you find the pituitary gland, like the bone looks thin and brittle, and you're not sure if that's because it's been exposed to the vacuum for so long, or if this person had some sort of degenerative disorder, but it looks like something was not entirely right with this individual's head.
Okay.
But you are on the other side of the saber tank and begin proceeding further down towards the ship. The crew heading upstairs. Meanwhile, we'll come back to you. You do not encounter vehicles shoved into hallways, but you do occasionally find signs of blaster fire, scorch marks on the walls, occasionally weapons left lying around. Usually just blasters, blades, which every clone had a bayonet, but those seem to be missing. And most of them are shipboard security weapons. They're not, they're not E-15s. They're whatever the ship decided to use for security. So there are a lot of handguns, a lot of lower-end weaponry. Continuing your way up, it is a prolonged process that takes you through some of the crew quarters. And as you enter one, you are struck with the image of what appears to be the better part of 200 sets of skeletal remains piled in a single corner. An enormous quantity of bones.
Yeah, I'm gonna radio that to the other team. I
will
wouldn't
say
even know
this-
where to begin to do a roll to see if I can determine what the hell's going on.
I will say this, you have also crossed through into a pressurized area. It is still very cold, and you definitely don't want to take your helmet off, but it is a pressurized space at this stage. The bones appear to... Again, there is a large quantity of just individuals who were here. All appear to be human, at least all that you can see. It is a... If you've ever seen those pictures from the Wild West where they were doing the big buffalo hunts and they had the big, rectangle of thousands of buffalo skulls, it's that, but, mixed with the Paris catacombs. Okay. The drones begin heading off down different hallways to kind of investigate. Interestingly, you don't see any clothing mixed into this pile. And as you go through the next room, you see where it all is. There is... Basically, you're walking through, bunk rooms, and one of, there's a common, dining hall, and off of it, you have, barracks rooms. One barracks is completely full of bones. The next one is completely full of clone armor. The next one is completely full of weapons. The next one completely full of uniforms. The next one, cleaning supplies.
What the hell is going on?
And I will say, as you get further into this, you are seeing more and more signs of blaster fire. But again, it doesn't look like it was a fight. There's shots on the ceiling, on the floor, on the walls. One of the refreshers, aka toilets, has been utterly blown to pieces. But not the one right next to it.
I'm relaying what I'm finding in these rooms to the engineering team.
I will say engineering team, unless do you have anything you'd like to look for, anything you'd like to investigate while you're in that space?
The weapons.
Yeah. Okay. What about them are you interested
in? Looking for anything out of the ordinary that wouldn't be standard issue, something that's uncommon. Anything that stands out.
In this space, you're starting to see mostly clone armaments. But give me a perception check. I'd say a hard check to look through the... Again, it is literally You ever watched Zaboomafoo as a kid?
Nope.
Remember the closet that was constantly collapsing?
Yeah.
Like that.
Nope.
What did you watch Animal Planet? Besides Tristan?
Fucking perception checks never pass, dude.
I would say that you're unable to. You don't notice anything particularly unique amongst the ruins. You see mostly just the same sort of weapons you would expect to see. Interestingly, many seem to have dead power packs, just from what you're seeing. Some don't, but a lot of them seem to show empty.
Okay, that's all I really wanted to look around in.
Okay. Continuing deeper into the engineering spaces, you two pass to a pressurized area, and suddenly you find that the gravity beneath you is on, but also not up and down. The gravity is in fact pulling you to your, basically down to the left, at like a 50-degree angle from the ground. You find yourselves standing kind of at a lean, so you're actually almost horizontal, just trying to stay upright.
Interesting.
Good thing we have good traction boots and climbing gear.
This almost feels like what it how you feel after a couple of bottles of some good Corellian whiskey.
Mm.
That would be between you and Cross there. Or you and Alpha there, Cross.
Well, let's are there any doors around us?
Yeah, there's doors leading into maintenance areas, workshops, all sorts of. You're in the underbelly of the ship. You are in the maintenance spaces.
Let's start opening just random doors. I want to see what's going on inside these rooms.
Okay. Looking through, you see that most of them are in a similar state to the hangar bay. Stuff's been thrown about the room. Any sort of vehicle or like pallet forks, anything used to move stuff around seems to have been used to move stuff in completely nonsensical directions. But you also occasionally start encountering piles of things that seem to have been like obsessively organized. Like you find one area in one room where there's just every hydrospanner you could imagine finding on the ship appears to have been precisely arranged like Lincoln logs into a big, like a cord of like cordwood. You find one where it's just hundreds of restraining bolts in a line, like a snaking line going across the room like someone said dominoes.
What happened on this ship?
The further we go, I'm getting more and more concerned.
Mouse tries to recut with the force and finds no purchase.
What are you looking for? A somewhat familiar voice you hear in the back
He's
of
back
your
on the
head.
ship.
No, I'm not.
Al checks his fucking backpack to see if he somehow got it.
There is no holocron. He has shown that he does not necessarily need to be near the holocron anymore.
I'm seeing if
I will say, you don't notice anything immediately except that Malice suddenly kind of stiffens up a bit. And even that, he just doesn't strike you as too odd.
Okay. Being familiar with this ship, I would like to go directly to where like a lot of the grab system.
Okay. Heading down, you find that it takes you another 10-15 minutes to get there. Before we go, Malice, is there anything you'd like to say to the voice? Or just think it. You certainly don't have to. Okay then.
Say that.
Did you say what?
I was trying to think of what to say, but that might be a little too dark sidey. So I'm not gonna say it.
Fair enough. Is it in character? Then it's fine. If it's not, then don't.
Yeah, kind of in character, kind of out of character. Now that I think about
That's
it.
your decision to make.
I'm just gonna leave it as it is right now.
Very well. Continuing down, following Kate's footsteps, you find one of the primary gravity plants, and you see, somewhat to your relief, red emergency lighting, at least in this small part of the ship, is actually on. The door itself, however, does not respond when you move to open it, nor does it open when you try the manual override. It appears to be jammed in place by something on the other side. But there are ways around.
Sure. You want to cut this open, kid?
I guess it could, just we're not gonna be able to close it afterward.
I think that's a problem we can fix later.
Fair enough. Alice steps forward and active. And is there a indicator light that shows the status of the room on the other side, if there is atmosphere or not? Anything?
There is no such functioning indicator at this stage.
Okay. Okay. I suggest you get behind that door.
Sorry, I just had a dumb idea. You stick the lightsaber in, and Cade, you just watch as it goes zook, and gets sucked into the hole. It doesn't actually happen. But...
Well, I was just gonna poke a hole into it and see what the state was on the other side.
There is very little. You do so with ease, and looking through, there's very little light on the other side. So that it's very difficult to see anything through such a small hole.
Okay, so it does not decompress on this side. Okay.
No.
Alice just
Like,
puts his
you see that
lightsaber
some
back
dust
in.
has been kicked up.
Alice sticks his lightsaber back in and makes a hole.
Cutting it open, you see the sight. It's a bit disturbing. You see in this room, which I will say is probably about 10 foot by 10 foot, but about half of that space is full of machinery. In the very back of it, you see what appears to be 3 skeletons. It's hard to describe what's going on. It's like they died in a fight, but they've been kind of parted out. At least 2 of them appear to have been partially disassembled. There are like a whole hand instead of hand bones is in a different part of the room. One of the legs is kind of sitting next to the body it belonged to, like it's a distance away.
What happened in here?
There
I
appears to
would
be
like
a rather large plasma cutter lying next to the 3rd intact body.
Plasma cutter. That would take off
Eh,
bones, but
yeah.
it would cauterize just much like my lightsaber, but that'd still be a painful way to die.
It almost seems as though the entire crew went mad.
I relay what we see in.
You can RP it. They're right here. They're seeing some crazy
Yeah.
shit too.
I'm gonna radio up to Lyra and Tarnus, and I think that the crew killed each other. Like, they're going crazy. We got one body that's completely intact with a plasma cutter next to him, and two that are in pieces, just locked in this room. No way out.
It's odd.
I'm gonna get ready, or I'm gonna get to work on the grab system.
I will say
have
that
back up soon.
while I'm picturing this like a server room, like a control room for all the gravity generators. There is emergency power, and it looks like of the probably 8 like racks in here, 2 of them have like all the lights on, 3 of them have some lights on, and the other 3 are all blank. Notably, many have big gashes in them, likely from that plasma cutter. And you also look over and see that the reason you could not open the door was that someone had gone around and effectively welded the entire perimeter of the door into its frame from this side.
What the fuck? Could you check the door on the opposite side of the room?
Yeah, that one opens normally. And there's no bodies or anything in here. In fact, you see what appears to be a very much... If you could say, like, I want to say rusted out R2 unit that just looks like it had been through some shit even before whatever happened here happened.
Is it on?
No. It appears likely to have run out of power, as you see kind of etched into the ground many track marks just back and forth for who knows how long before the power ran down and the droid just stopped moving halfway through this back and forth track.
Well, before doing
Hey, do you
anything
got
with
a
the
spare
gravity system,
power pack on you?
I mean, I believe I would.
Let's see if we can't get this little guy online.
Let's try.
I would need a hard difficulty mechanics check.
Okay.
Because the hardware you have is most certainly not standard for this, so you are going to be getting parts from around you and jerry-rigging something to connect this, I want to say like a personal power cell for like your suit or something, to this droid to try and put some juice into it. It takes a bit of finagling, and it takes some donor wire from the gravity control room.
Yeah, 2 more of these.
3 more advantages. Good. Okay, you know what? It takes about 5 minutes, in fact. It doesn't take a while at all. It takes about 5 minutes, 2 of which is you figuring out, all right, which power cell's going to work. 1 of which is you deciding how to do it, and the other 2 are you just gathering the parts and wiring it together. It is a lower voltage power supply than the droid is used to, and you see, to your relief, amber-colored charge indicators start turning on, but it also shows a completely dead power core, like 0, 0.
It's going to take a minute for this thing to, like, boot.
Yeah.
You think that the power cell you've hooked up will take probably 20 or 30 minutes to fully drain, and will probably bring this droid up to 1%. You have a small power cell on you, I would say. But the droid does appear to be, at least mechanically, intact. So if you could plug it into something a little more potent, you'd probably be able to get it outright moving. But for the moment...
Plug it into the gravity generator.
Okay, where would the droid service docks be on this deck?
A couple on this deck, maybe near the wings of the ship, near the sides.
It'd still be a little bit of a
more or
trek.
less amidships.
It'd be like a 10-minute walk.
Yeah, no, it's not that far. It's like 2 football fields to the left, down a big hallway.
Okay.
I will say, you continue walking down this hall, kind of, I want to say you've probably lashed the droid up with some wires, so you're just towing it behind you, or you know what you've done? You've unlocked the treads, and you're walking with your hand on it like those suitcases with 4 wheels.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. Okay.
Just castering that bitch along. Each of you have a hand on, just guide it. You're like a family walking with their child. I will say, as you're walking down, this is a larger hallway. This is the ones for, remember those vehicles moving around in the New Hope, like people in cargo carriers. Like this is where
this is Broadway.
Larger parts for the ship were moved around. And a lot of these places here are storage rooms. As you continue down, you see it to your left. You're taken aback for a second by seeing just a square metal face and 2 laser cannons pointed at you as you realize something has completely wedged an AT-PT walker into a door frame.
Oh, the bantha fodder,
dude.
House tries to reach out with the force again, and nothing.
Shit's weird, my friend. Shit's weird.
I'm kidding. I will say, with those 2 dark side rolls, you are not sensing malevolence. You are sensing this lingering sense of tragedy. Something bad happened here, but it wasn't someone's fault. It wasn't someone's actions that brought this about.
It wasn't incompetence. It wasn't incompetence. It's just pure dumb luck.
Terrible luck. Are you back yet, Ghost?
Ghosty Ghost.
He said he was AFK a while ago. 10 minutes, so I didn't know if he'd be back yet. Or it's definitely more than 10 minutes, but it says 10 minutes ago, despite there being 17 and 14 minutes, much further. 20 minutes ago. It just clicked up. Okay. But anyway, you continue down, and you are able to find one of the battery rooms. Not so much. The droid control station is actually further, but you see a battery room that has not an emergency light, a regular, completely normal light on it. Just the one. And I will say, in the corner of this room, huddled in a fetal position, you see a single body. This one wearing full clone trooper armor and seemingly completely undisturbed. You're actually almost surprised for a moment because it just looks like this clone wearing phase 1 armor just sitting in the corner, kind of like huddled over themselves. Looking kind of like a frightened child in the dark.
So shiny?
Yes. Well, not right now. Very matte with a coating of dust.
I mean, shiny in terms he doesn't have any troop markings.
There are no unit. The only marking on the armor indicates they are a private.
Okay, so they are shiny.
I want to look for his personal data pad.
Okay. Just give me a basic, basic search on this guy.
So this ship must have went MIA
The search
first
is going to be
year.
perception because that's kind of just the everything roll for that.
So Cross, would you say that the ship went missing first year of Clone Wars? Because phase 1, that got phased out at least second year of the Clone Wars.
Before my time.
You can give me a history or a warfare check, either of you, to see if you remember kind of the specifics of that. Okay, so because I don't remember the dates in the Galactic Standard Calendar that predated our standard BBY system, I'm going to say it in our terms. The Clone Wars began at the end of 22 BBY. Phase 2 armor came in towards the end of 21 BBY, but outlying units, shipboard troops, the lower priority, not the frontline units, did receive their Phase 2 armor later, and some were still using Phase 1 by the end of the war, though that was usually in the way backwaters. So, from this, you'd guess early, but you don't know.
You'd have to find the fucking logs.
Yep.
Which, best way to find the logs is bridge. Or
It's
the main
going to be
computer core.
accessing the primary nav computer.
Yeah. And I will say you are able to plug in, I won't make a check for it, this R2 unit, which I note is an R3 unit, in fact.
Okay.
So the better R2, essentially, just weaker head.
No, the cheaper military version with a clear head.
No, they're actually better than the R2.
That is very much debatable, but I accept that.
They had better heuristic processors. They had the clear to show that they had an improved heuristic processor over the R2.
That is marketing.
Mm-hmm.
But yes. The lights begin turning on. If the droid still needs some time. Just kind of like charging up a phone from a completely dead battery. Like, it's going to take a little while before it's able to really activate. But I would say you are able to turn it on at this point, and you realize that this R2 unit is currently in standby mode. Not like it's broken, but like it doesn't necessarily seem to have been reset. It just looks like it completely powered down to the point where it lost its BIOS settings and needs to just reboot properly.
So it hard.
CMOS is dead.
Mm-hmm. Alright, reboot. It is then.
It's going to take a little bit more
Which
time.
Mouse
so we're
did bring Ellis, so is R5.
Yeah. Nice. All right, and I will say we should swap back to the other crew. You've been hearing reports from what's going on downstairs as this has happened. Meanwhile, did you want to continue looking around on the crew deck or continue up towards the bridge?
Let's continue up towards the bridge.
You pass various other scenes of confusion. One long section, you don't know if it was under maintenance or if this happened during whatever happened here, or later. You don't know anything about this except that there are no bulkhead panels for a long period. There's the backing walls, and there's floors, and it's pressurized, but all of the just side of the hallway panels have been completely removed and have just been stacked haphazardly, mostly along the floor, but occasionally leaned against walls. It's like someone just began to disassemble the ship here. And you find some bodies, these once again wearing the uniforms of the kind of standard shipboard crew, just scattered around the place, holding tools, some in 2s and 3s, some seemingly haven't been fighting, like falling around each other, some with visible skull injury, like head injuries from these, likely from blunt force trauma, and some just on their own. At least one appears to have found a way to hang itself with an electrical wire, based on the head kind of sticking to the neck, like dangling there and the crumpled body below it.
It's getting weirder by the minute. Can I search the body for anything unusual?
Yeah, you can begin looking around. Give me a perception check. And Tarnus, why don't you... Oh, I wish Tarnus was back. It's really just you up there now.
Yep.
You look around and you don't find anything particularly out of the ordinary. In fact, you find very few personal artifacts. But turning one corner, what you do find written on, you almost miss it as you at first glance as you just walk over it, but looking back just a little bit, kind of check on where Tarnus is, who's looking at some of the feeds from his drones. You notice that there are words written on the ground, or well, single word written many, many, many times over. Just no, 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 no.
Creepy.
Yep. We're gonna keep going to our goal, to our objective.
Continuing upwards, you're starting to wonder why you ever stopped your cardio. I mean, you never stopped it, but you did cut back when you were doing the diplomatic life, and you're reliving why you were so big on working out before, and you're realizing you need to get back into this, because it is a lot of stairs, and the gravity is seemingly more consistent in this part of the ship. And occasionally you do find points where the ship is on, like, again, no primary lights, but some areas appear to have been disconnected from the power grid somehow, and little areas will still have power. You find it's just a control room, like managing like traffic flow about the ship, but you see a couple dozen like terminals, and most of them are intact, and there are bodies sitting at the terminals as if they were working.
Can I do a medicine check to see anything that shouldn't be in a humanoid body?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Signs for viruses,
give me
diseases, everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a medicine check, and you should be able to do that with. Given your medical skill, I'm going to say you get 2 boosts, because you're very used to kind of combat trauma. So any signs of injury or things like that would be very obvious. You're looking for things specifically specifically that don't fall into that camp. So I'd say you almost have an advantage in that regard too.
Well, we can say it's my data pad that I have as well.
Yeah, you've got a list of
over,
diseases and illnesses and any other misfortune that might befall a person.
Difficulty.
I would say hard.
This is a lot of dice.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm at. Oh, whatever. Oh. It's fine. I'll flip that back. Well then, you start looking at one body and then look at another and another, and a pattern immediately emerges. All of them seem to have what appears to be like osteoporosis, like the bone literally becoming thin and frail at the base of the skull. Everywhere from where the spinal cord actually attaches at the foramen magnum, and all the way towards the front, like towards the upper jaw and into the hard palate. Just the bone is like being eaten away by something, and every single body you see has the same sign of damage.
Can I take blood samples?
There is no blood. All of these bodies are skeletal. It has been a long time.
Okay. I'm gonna continue my journey by myself.
Yeah. You're not by yourself in canon, just...
Okay.
It has been about 14. Well, you don't know exactly how long it's been. It could be anywhere from 14 to 18 years. 14 to 17, more likely. You're narrowing in on it being 17 to like 16 or maybe 15 years old. A long time has passed for these bodies, and they were kept in a climate-controlled atmosphere for a while with bacteria present. So, while everything is long decayed to nothingness at this point, around all these bodies, there's like a brown stain on the ground from where the decomposition process did occur. And then as the ship's life support failed and the rooms remained pressurized, but the temperature approached that of the void, this was just vitrified into just a dark stain on the ground and on the clothing and on the bones and all around. Basically just the powdered, broken down essence of what was once these people. But yes.
Strange. I'm gonna take a prime bone to look into later.
A prime bone?
What would be a good bone?
Are you looking for a prime rib?
Yes. I don't know, what probably some vertebrae from the spine.
I'm sorry, I thought that was funny. It's like
That was that was a good joke. That was great.
I'm really
prime rib
right
like
now.
the sandwich.
Yeah, but it's like a rib is in like their rib cage.
You said a prime bone. I thought it was good. Whatever.
Yeah.
War, was it funny? Good talk, man.
Yes, I chuckled.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my headset broke, so I have to use my a studio mic. And it bleeds audio a lot.
Oh no.
I use a studio mic, but
So do I.
it's fair.
Sam.
My mic and headphones are all in one, so I'm using my speakers.
So you're using speakers and a
I see,
microphone. I see the problem.
Yeah,
Rather than
that
we're all
will
using
create a lot of
headphones
bleed.
and a microphone, which is fine.
Yeah.
In any event, yes. I would imagine in this instance you would actually be taking a skull with you.
I'll take a couple vertebrae and a skull.
Okay. And continuing
we're
up
gonna-
towards the bridge. You eventually arrive at the doors and you see they are barricaded from the outside. All sorts of furniture and just occasionally weapons, random pieces of like storage containers, appliances. There is an entire refrigerator. Everything that someone here could get their hands on has been piled in front of the bridge doors. Like pushing back into the hall by like 5 or 6 feet in some places.
Can I have Tarnus send his recon remote through the vents into the bridge?
Yes, you can. You can certainly try that. It takes a moment. You have to pry one of the vents open, but you send the little remote up, and it begins pathing its way there. And thankfully, Tarnus.
Some sort of bone degeneration in certain places.
Mostly in the base of the skull. There's an ATPT wedged into a doorway. They found an R2 unit. They're powering it up right now. They found bodies that appear to have disassembled other bodies. They've found bodies sitting at their workstations. They found a whole hallway that began to be disassembled. They've just found the bridge door, and it's been piled like 6 feet deep.
The
with
bridge
shit.
is blocked from the outside, from our side. So they were trying to keep something in it.
I'm sorry, I'm going back to the
Which
going
bridge?
back to the
Which
dark
bridge are
mix
we on?
because
The left or right?
Huh? I would
Which
say
bridge?
you were on the left. You were on the Starflight, not the Starfighter bridge, the ship-like bridge.
Okay, the ship bridge.
I think
And I
Ghost
just-
might.
I
I think
just
Ghost knows
your-
what might have happened here.
Yeah, I just sent your
kind of
recon
have a
remote.
feeling.
Yeah. Oh, the sending the droid in? Okay, well, I said something in.
Yeah. So
But,
basically, the thought was Tarnus that we're sending the. You've been going with. Is she asleep? By the way, is that what you're? Got it. Go hide in the bathroom. I'm kidding. Go hide in the bathroom and whisper into your mic. But no. You have since the. How about no? Anyway, you sent the recon remote up into the vents, and it has made its way over to look into the bridge, and it is unable to open the vent, I will say. But it is able to look down into the room and kind of move around enough to get some angles. So you can see kind of a circle in roughly the middle of the bridge. There's a couple other vents. You can get a good picture. The controls appear to have been damaged, and there are a lot of people in here. Maybe 40, 50 people. There's not normally that many people on the bridge. Like, this is a large number of crew members. And there seems to have just been an open melee that unfolded. You see many bodies in pairs, many that appear to have like just collapsed on the floor and then been like kicked around. Like, you find them intact, but just in very odd positions. You find ones that have been kind of thrown into one corner. Some are just collapsed over the controls. It is just a scene of chaos, like frozen in time. The snapshot of a completely uncontrolled, wild, chaotic moment that happened at some point in the past during the Clone War. So, wars, plural. You can also see that there are almost no lights on in this room. But it doesn't look to be horrifically damaged. It just looks like the power ran out after the people stopped doing things. I would agree with that assessment. That is indeed gnarly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we should get in. We're gonna clear debris out of the way.
Okay, can I get an athletics check from both of you?
Yep.
This is mostly to determine how gnarly the blockade is and how long it's going to take to unfold.
Difficulty?
I would say average. It's not so much difficult work as it is potentially time consuming, especially with your strengths. Oh yeah. And then what about you, Tarnus? Still got your laptop, I know. Tarnus is not one known for his exceptional strength, but he is persistent, and he is certainly helping. You are, however, Lyra, carrying all the really heavy objects. Tarnus is more dealing with the smaller bits and things, pushing aside, organizing. He is being a great help. But it is you who is pulling the heavy-duty parts of this blockade and this barricade out of the way. And eventually you are able to reach the control panel on the door, and thankfully this is one that opens up. And the door slides open on like ultra low power, like battery backup mode. It's just like the slow grind, like an overstrained boat lift with one person like desperately cranking the thing too hard. And you are able to, with some shuffling, get yourself into the space beyond the door, into the fully shuttered bridge. And you see now that these shutters absolutely did deploy, because at some point someone broke one of the bridge windows. It appears to have been shot at from the inside.
It's really weird.
It's also not something that should have happened with regular blaster fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna investigate to see if I can tell what blaster it came from and like where the position in the room was.
Based on the angle, you'd guess it came from out near the doorway. And it was not one shot, it was a large number of blasters firing at this one window for perhaps a prolonged period of time, enough that the transparasteel finally heated up enough to start melting. And it was not blown through, it was melted through, and a relatively small hole opened. Certainly small enough of a hole that the shutters likely closed before those inside the room had any ill effects from depressurization. It did not shatter, it just failed.
In that case, I want to see if we can get the bridge working, or at least one of the terminals, and find the logs.
Yeah, absolutely. You head over to what should be kind of the starting terminal, linking down to engineering. And you are able to get basic power to the terminal without a check, I will say. However, you see that the reactor is offline, the auxiliary reactors are offline, the primary power storage is completely drained, and as is the secondary, and you're currently running on a local backup, and there's a couple of low voltage systems still active throughout the ship that you're getting just feedback from, basically signals coming into this terminal. But you also see that a lot of the ship has gone dark. It isn't like the ship has been horrifically damaged, but a lot of little systems have failed, a lot of bits and pieces have been torn up and broken, either intentionally or otherwise. And a lot of time has passed, and the ship is really just not able to talk to itself fully at this point.
I'm going to send down any possible relevant information I can find on this terminal and send it to engineering, either to like them directly or however.
Yeah, I would say this message arrives for you on your personal data pad. Probably Kate, I'd imagine, is the one receiving this.
Yeah.
As you're currently watching the power bar on this R2 droid just about hit 3%. This astromech.
That's probably enough to at least start it up.
I think so.
Okay.
Yep.
Computer?
Power him on.
Mechanics or...
Okay. Who is powering him on, and where relative to its eyes are you standing?
I am going to power it on, and I'm going to be like kneeled right in front of it, essentially where its eyes are, because I can speak binary. And hopefully when this thing turns on, I'm going to just like try and calm it down.
Okay. You press the power button and you wait, and you hear the Windows 95 startup sound briefly fill the room. You don't actually, of course, but the R2 unit, or the R3 unit, is a good idea too.
That is a fantastic idea.
The R3 unit briefly turns on, and lights begin flashing on just as it just flickers on, and like you can see like things clearly aren't working fully right. Like some of its lights are off. Like this droid has been languishing for a very long time and is likely needs some proper repairs, but it does turn on, and it takes one look at you, and it lets out the most shrill shriek of utter droid panic and begins desperately trying to roll away from you.
Whoa there, little friend.
Yeah,
Bumping right into Malister. It spins around, looks at you, looks back at the clone, looks back at you, and just still keeps trying to escape.
I want to try and like calm it down and tell it that it to stop and like hold on, tell me what happened.
You speak binary. You just keep hearing it say, "Get away, get away, get away!" No, no, no. Like it is utterly terrified. And you see that as this panic gets into it, it has unplugged itself, and it rapidly begins losing power again, and just starts going. It's shrill. You just hear this downshift as the pitch goes from just shrill to just, and it just slowly powers down in front of you.
Yeah, we're gonna plug it back in, and we're gonna let it charge for a bit while we mess with the stuff in engineering.
Yeah, probably best idea. I wonder where Alice got off to.
You hear a chirp from behind you, and you look over, and Alice is just sitting right there. Like, you didn't tell me to go anywhere.
All right, good to know.
Alice kind of looks back. He looks at Droid like, "What's their problem?"
I have no clue.
Yeah, shell shocked for sure. I mean, you just witnessed a whole crew like.
Alice then says, "They didn't exactly call Order 66 on droids."
No. No, they did not.
Actually, Malice, do you think your little bot could suck the figurative brain out of this one? Like try and pull some of its memory.
Probably. They'd have to
I
sandbox
think
it.
that might be yeah. We could take the legs off real quick.
I'll just disable the power to the wheels here and here, and basically just keeps it from.
I just immediately picture we could take the legs off real quick as you gesture at the lightsaber.
Mouse is like, no, just unplug the wires right here.
Yeah,
I was going
meanwhile,
more for
you're
a
holding like a
mechanical
power supply,
response.
power connector. Like, no.
Yeah, let's unplug the legs and then we'll let Malice's droid rattle around in that thing's brain.
Yeah, you plug on in, and Alice immediately reports that the droid is encrypted. Standard Republic codes. It's going to take a minute for her to find the right combination, but she can do it.
You got time. Report back when you find something. Try not to find anything that corrupts you. And if you can, try and
Alice pauses for a moment and replies with, "Nothing says that there's anything wrong with the droid. I think it's just afraid."
Something seriously wrong happened here.
That is deeply concerning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna real quick. What would Alice roll for intelligence? I think you can't just roll intellect, unfortunately. Well, I'm gonna say that you roll intellect as just 2 yellow.
Wow.
Yeah, Alice is smart.
Mm-hmm.
Alice simply replies back with, "I think it is the clones that were corrupted."
Mm-hmm.
We're in the bridge already. Oh, around the bridge.
They report back having encountered some more sealed passages, some more just random piles of bodies, or just corpses in very odd positions. Some like at work, some fighting each other to death, some dismembering each other, probably post-mortem, hopefully post-mortem. It is a scene of just chaos all over the ship. I will say, you also, none obvious. There doesn't seem to be a huge amount of blood in most places. It's mostly just kind of the corpse bile stain. There isn't like big blood stains everywhere. I mean, there are in some places, certainly. Like the hallway with all the ones that have fought each other with like actual like blunt tools. There's a decent amount of blood there from some serious head injuries, but no, it mostly just looks like people just kind of tore each other apart or beat each other to death. Or beat themselves to death on the walls and the floors. It doesn't really look like there was as much cutting. And there certainly doesn't seem to be signs of gnawing. But it would be hard to tell. Lyra has the skull. A skull. Yep. There are many skulls to choose from. This is my skull. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Why do you ask? You just getting context? Lyra is with you. So what would you like to examine?
Are we looking at the skull more in depth right now? Oh.
Yeah, that Tarnus would like to.
Okay, yeah, we can take a look. What do you want my medicine roll to be?
I want to see what Tarnus is specifically asking for, because he's asking to look at it.
Look inside it.
Oh, inside of it. Shining a light into the foramen magnum, aka the hole that the spinal cord goes through. Because I remember that part of anatomy, I guess. Looks like a skull. Looks like some bone. Looks like there should have been a brain in here at some point. But panning the light forward and kind of looking towards the front of the skull, the underside on the inside is far worse than it was on the outside. There are chunks of bone that have just turned to honeycomb. It's almost like it was eaten by termites. Like, just in terms of texture, I'm not implying that they were brain termites, or bone termites for that matter. Ugh, bone termites.
That just sounds nasty.
That's horrific.
It sounds like something
Idea for Rogue
scientists would come
Trader.
up.
Bone termites.
I mean, why not? That's very 40k. Like, isn't there like a random like bug that is like the size of people and was a bioweapon that just kind of exists all over the place now?
No, but there are some things out there in the western end of the Milky Way galaxy that is an entire race of sentient bugs that are not the Tyranids.
Are they chill?
No, they are not. This is 40k.
Oh,
No,
are you talking about?
Okay, look, there are chill aliens in 40k, and they're only chill because they don't leave their home systems and don't bother anyone.
Are you talking about the things that were introduced with the oh god, what was the name of it? Kill Team? Or there
like
was some
Heroics
RP,
or something like that.
Yeah, they're freaky as fuck,
and they are not friendly.
No.
Is this somewhere in the Ghoul Stars or something? One of those
No,
terrible
there's worse
places.
things out there. We don't talk about what's in the Ghoul Stars.
Yeah, no.
Halo Stars, then.
I don't know if they've been outside. Well, the Halo Stars, but yeah, no, the Ghoul Stars is like Nightmare Zone.
Even the Drukhari don't want to go to the Ghoul Stars.
No, they do not.
They're like,
A
this is
Tyranid
fucked
fleet
up
went
even
through
by
there,
our
and
standards.
it came out misshapen, like Lovecraftian level horror misshapen.
Funnily enough, this is gonna be eerily similar. They're called the Rak Gall. And
I think we killed those off. We killed those off.
Here's the problem. That sounds very much like both Rak Ghoul from Star Wars and Rak Nai from Mass Effect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Rak Gall were terrifying. Those were
they were wiped out. Thankfully, the Imperium wiped those out.
When even the Imperium goes, oh hell no, and decides to just utterly wipe the species out because they must.
They were not created in God's image.
Yeah, but they still don't just go out of their way to destroy random alien species most of the time, because they're on the very fringes. They're not a threat. They're staying out of the way. It's not worth the resources. This was, we're killing these people now.
Kind of getting off topic, aren't we?
I understand, yes, we are, indeed. We do need to look at the ship's travel records. Those are, they could probably be downloaded right now, but they're not exactly viewable on the main terminal because you can't power it. However, you guys did bring power cells that you left at the ship, because they're large. They are like I would imagine these ones are probably about 30 inches long and about 6 inches diameter, roughly cylindrical. Your dog could carry one. They are not super light. You could probably tow several behind Alice. Yeah, I can say you brought one up with you, Tarnus. That's fair. Okay. What are you hooking up? Yeah, who knows what you would have seen on a return journey. Is anybody else like doing anything now while we wait for?
Just restoring the gravity systems.
Yep. It is taking some effort, and you end up deciding to just do it strategically. You're redirecting it to the working computers, and you're trying to focus on just kind of the important areas. You want to try and get the hangar and your both teams' passage to and from where you are now into there. You're not really trying to get the whole ship up.
No, quite literally just like the bridge, the stuff to the bridge, engineering, the stuff to engineering, and the hangar.
Yeah, I gotcha. I would say you don't need to make a check for that. It is straightforward, but it is time consuming. So I'd say that you are occupied by that task for the moment.
Yes.
Lyra, Mouse, I'm going to come right back to you, Tarnus. I just want to see what everyone else is doing while you're about to do this. Do either of you have any options, any choices?
Mouse is going to be... probably looking for something to assist Cade, any spare parts that Cade needs in the vendor supply stores.
Sure. Can you give me a
perception?
Tell you what, I'll allow either perception or a lore warfare to see if you remember where these components might be on a ship.
Normal difficulty? Normal difficulty?
Yes. Yeah, I would say you figure out, which is warfare, yeah, you absolutely do figure out where you need to be looking, and it doesn't take you long at all to start finding some components. And so I would say with that, you're able to bring probably another one of those kind of server cabinets up and running by just fixing its power delivery system. But you're also noticing, like, you're pushing towards the capacity of what power grid remains on this ship. It can only support so many zones at once, and you're kind of pushing towards that. So you're going to turn more stuff off throughout the rest of the ship. Back to Tarnus very quickly. You are able to plug it in and restore, I would say, again, I'm not going to make you roll for it because it's just plugging in a battery. I would say you were able to restore power to all of the consoles in the bridge. Not necessarily the whole systems, but all the consoles at least. And all the lights in the bridge come on, and all the displays begin showing, and you see so many red errors that it's almost comical. It's almost like you opened a game after a major update and you didn't update your mods. You just see so many errors, you're like, yeah, that's not even worth my time.
When a new WoW expansion drops and you've just got like the little red exclamation marks on every little icon.
It's like you try to connect to a server in Garysville with none of the resources loaded. Just exclamation point errors everywhere. Missing textures. It's just a catastrophe. But yeah, you are able to look over at the Travelog terminal, and you see that it is filled with gibberish. Just complete and utter gibberish. Like, many of the records have been edited. Many of the parts are missing, parts have been added. There's names of systems that do not exist, or at least you've never heard of. There's talk about this thing having been in the unknown regions. In some reports indicate different galaxies that, yeah, no, the ship was certainly not there. One indicated it was outside the Rishi maze. One indicated it was within the core, like the deep core. you realize very quickly that what entries in here are valid are between so many false and bogus entries, some of which are very believable, some of which, like one says it visited Nalhutta. Sure, it doesn't make a lot of sense for why Republic warship would go there, but it's in the area at least. I would say a daunting difficulty computers check at this stage to try and grasp what's real amongst the just mountain of terrible data in front of you. I will allow anyone who's with you to help you or try and find a way to help you in this instance, but it is a massive task to try and get that information in full.
I'm fairly good with computers. I can assist.
You are not present, unfortunately.
Oh yeah. Well, I can walk him through it via comms.
Yeah, that's fair.
Who? Yeah. Wait, what's going on?
Tarnus is
I'm trying to assist Tarnus.
Okay.
One at a time. Tarnus is attempting to access the ship's travel logs and found them full of so much junk data that it's a difficult check to figure out what the hell is real amongst this.
And he's already got somebody assisting?
Yes.
Okay.
Though you were up there, so if you want to give me a reason you were able to help, I would allow you to supersede while he's checked who's doing remote tech support.
Yeah, I'm doing remote tech support while also trying to reroute power.
There's not really anything I can think of that I'd be able to help with.
Okay.
Nothing in my wheelhouse.
Well, I would propose you have you have a lot of Core Worlds lore and a decent amount of Outer Rim lore. So what you would certainly be able to help do is look through the lists of systems, many of which seem strange or weird or possibly fake, and at least call out some of the obvious failures with that. You have you have knowledge of a lot of systems.
Okay, yeah, let's do that then.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing what I mean, like pick a skill. I think you could absolutely help there. So yeah, you can absolutely get that boost. Tornus.
I like that.
Tortoise.
Ooh,
Good job, Tornus.
Nice.
Nicely done. It is a process of elimination, but focusing on the more recent entries that seem to have sensible chronology to them, you can see that the ship was originally assigned to a fleet near Eriadu, which, for those who are curious, is near Sullust in the galactic south. It is right here. Where the Rima trade route and the Hydian Way meet in the south. You can see that it also stopped off. The last recorded port of call was on New Cove, which is over here. This is a pretty unremarkable world, but an occupied one, certainly. There are also some other jumps that the ship's navigational system recorded, but that are not necessarily recorded properly. You see the ship visited Emberline, and Chroma Z, and Lanik, and Draktu, and Newell, and Barris, and really was just jumping around this whole region. It seems to have just been kind of moving through this whole area of space, and you're seeing multiple jumps a day. Like the ship is going from place to place, for what looks to be about a week before one final jump done with zero calculations at all. And this ship went from, being largely uncontrolled, largely controlled, and moving from place to place, recklessly seeming, but with at least intent behind it, and just jumping into the void and losing track of where it was. And only a few days after that, the system stops tracking telemetry data entirely. And I would say yes, it's luck, but also you're a scout. You're very good at picking up, details, finding the patterns. In a way, this is something you'd be good at. I would say yes, you can. The ship's orders, it was on garrison duty. It was orders after its visit at New Cove was to be doing garrison duty on Druckenwell, which is right next door. Industrial world, recently well populated.
So something
proper mid-rim planet, huh?
So something happened on New Cove then.
It basically looks like it was doing normal ports of call, then it went to New Cove for crew leave, and then a few days after that, it started acting very erratically, and pretty much exactly a week after that, it made just a blind jump to here. There were a good 3 or 4 days of the ship just kind of going wherever. You also notice the captain's records up until and just after New Cove seem completely normal, but it immediately flips a switch where it goes one day and it's normal kind of boring reports to talking about Minox in the carpets and beetles crawling out of the walls and just all sorts of random, clearly very vivid visual and auditory hallucinations, and this incredible sense of paranoia and panic spreading in the ranks, and then just complete gibberish follows. And then it just stops on the same day that the ship jumped to nowhere. In fact, the last entry is from only an hour before that jump occurred. Lyra, with your medical training, examining the skull, hearing this, because you're in the room with Tarnus hearing this, I would allow you probably at this point, I would say, have a theory about what might have happened on this ship.
Well, Lyra does, I don't.
Well, Ghost might too, I imagine.
I don't know that much about legends.
This is a very rare phenomena, but a very problematic one. As you realize what must have happened here is the crew was hit by what is known as a hive virus. They're mostly gone these days. They were becoming very rare during the Clone Wars, and medical advances during the war effectively removed them entirely. What would happen was a very advanced, sometimes a virus, more often a form of parasite actually, would infect members of a ship's crew or sometimes even an entire fleet and slowly spread unnoticed, sometimes for days, sometimes for years, before very suddenly activating. And it might kill all of its hosts at once, but more often it would start effectively making the hosts go crazy. And this would normally happen on planets in isolated colonies. And you'd have those who were infected effectively either kill or forcibly infect those who were not infected. But it occurred on ships as well, especially long-haul ships that had long periods of time between ports where a medical check by the inbound authorities might detect it, and they could treat it if it was found. However, much like some terrifying fungi in Earth, those infected by it, even in its dormant state, would not believe that they were ill and would try their best to hide it. If a doctor was infected with it and saw an infected patient, it would not say anything. The individual would not even mentally register that there was an infection. It's a nefarious piece of biology.
Okay. I'm going to share my information with the rest of the teams.
Followed by Tarna shrieking, "Do not raise the temperature."
Nope.
I'm saying it over the comms. He just slams on the fucking terminal, I'm guessing, and says, "Don't raise the temperature."
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
There was the Geonosian mind parasite. I don't believe there was a Clone Wars episode on a hive virus. There was the blue shadow virus, and there was the mind parasite. This is a hive virus. This is different.
Okay.
And you would also know that with very little in the way of organic material left, and with modern medicine, and provide everyone got a little bit of a bacteria treatment afterwards, the ship could be decontaminated relatively easily. A long period of time has passed. The virus will have sporulated. It will be difficult for it to infect people. So the ship is sterile.
Decontaminated yet, Jacques? I'm just thinking of the shrimp from Finding Nemo.
An army of shrimp come crawling down the hallway.
That would be so much fucking worse.
Would you prefer the ship to have been filled with cannibalistic giant shrimp?
Oh no.
No.
Uh-huh.
Anywho.
You also get a manifest, and while you did not take a huge, detailed look down the hangar bay, you find that this ship had a very small ground contingent. Likely only a couple hundred clones and some light vehicles. That one ATTE you saw wedged in was one of 4 they had. Most of their starfighters, however...
ATT or...
ATTE.
Okay.
They had some ATPTs.
I thought you were talking about the thing that was wedged in the hallway.
No, that was an ATPT.
And a saber.
Okay.
Which, that was a direct reference. No flamer droids. But no, the ATPT wedged in a hallway is exact. So I'm basing this off of an encounter from the first Thrawn trilogy with the Katana fleet, where the same thing of an ATPT wedged in a hallway, though this one had blasted a hole in the floor as well, played out. Though in that case, Han Solo used it to kill a whole bunch of clones. Bad clones. They were bad clones. But yes. You have, at least you believe, figured out what probably happened here. And I would say about now, Alice chirps up, saying that she has recovered the data from the astromech. And as Tarnus, you hear this over the comm, and you look down at the just mess of information all these terminal entries have, you figure the droid's probably going to have a more clear picture of what happened here than anything written by a human being. And I think... How would you like to wrap this up? Because I think there isn't a ton left to explore here. But if there's anything you'd like to find, anything you'd want to search for, any unique
fuel
tech
supply.
or fun... Fuel supply. You want to check that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will say, in your case, as You're able to get some power back onto the systems. You see that the ship is not entirely out of fuel, but it is a very low reserve. The ship is, however, completely out of reactor fuel. The power stayed on for as long as it could, long after the crew had expired.
Hmm.
I want to raid the medical bay and see if there's anything useful, any droids that we could use. Laboratories.
The medical bay is a complete mess. Clearly, what you seem to be getting the impression as you look through this is some people seem to have kept their composure much longer, some possibly up until the virus finally decided to kill them. For example, those you found just hiding, staying away from it all. They seem to have not succumbed, or maybe they just got paranoid as a result. It's unclear. You go to the health bay and almost every patient bed is full. There are effectively mummified bodies floating in the bacta tanks. Some people were trying to get better. Some people were trying to heal. There was an effort being made, but it did not work in the end. But you do find a large quantity of medical equipment, medical supplies, and a handful of 21B medical droids, as well as some other models. It is for a resource-strapped rebellion, it is a massive boon. But you have the question to ponder of: do you take it off this ship, or do you leave it here for if and when you need to take the ship?
I think we leave it. Oh yeah, like all the other stuff. We can come back and definitely get this thing up.
Yeah, the ship. I would say, give me a mechanics check, both Tarnus and Cade, as you are the two who've been kind of looking into this the most. And we're going to see just between you what you've figured out needs to be repaired on this ship.
Standard?
Yeah, and this is also going to count as that diagnostic scan you would like to do.
You should use a...
What?
Jesus Christ, these were bad rolls.
Shit's broken. Like, this ship has got... there are so many little things broken that it's hard to see the big things that are broken. Yeah, no, like, shit's broken.
Is the hyperdrive at least operational? Like, we don't have reactor fuel.
You don't have enough power to really tell, but you can't think of any reason it shouldn't be. But all the accounts seem to show that the ship just ended up here as the virus finally started killing everyone and setting off the full chaos mode, and just kind of ended up here and was left here.
I almost feel like the smart thing to do now would be to move the power cells that we have to turn this thing on a little bit. Check what systems we can while it's at least a little bit turned to, like, at least just maintaining power. And if we can get reactor fuel and then see if the hyperdrive is still working, we could jump it back towards Tandoon, where we can slowly start working on it, like, in atmosphere. But I think it would be best to move the ship, at least somewhat quickly.
Agreed.
You'll need to basically keep it off the main highways.
Which, like, we could take the CR-20. I'm not saying taking it directly to Tandu. We just, like, you know, close. Within enough reach for us to actually, like, work on it at an efficient pace. Or have crews working on it at an efficient pace.
Yeah, that could work.
Yep. I think so we move the fuel cells on, and then I think I might take the CR20.
Also, for the sake of brevity, you're able to get enough power over the course of. You have a large amount of manpower with you. You have several hundred people among the crews of these ships. You brought most of the cell to do this.
Yeah.
This was seen as a major potential investment. And you're able to, with the ship, because I will say, as you've been doing this, the fleet outside has been continuing to slow the ship down. It is now still adrift, certainly, but stable. The ship is no longer moving around recklessly, and your fleet is all kind of in formation around it at this point. So they're able to start just straight up docking.
Sick.
Now,
okay.
Limited number of spacesuits available, and the ship is still not safe to move around in without that. So not everyone can come join, but you can, I'd say within another hour, have dozens of people working on this vessel with you. And moving cargo around, and potentially even routing some small amount of fuel from your ships. Mind you,
I was thinking about just straight up going to Gindine and just buying fuel, extra fuel with the CR20, and then bringing it back in.
My God, that's going to be expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It would be pricey. As a reminder, your cell has been largely refining its own fuel thanks to that little pump you found, or the little mini refinery. This would certainly exceed your production capacity.
Yeah.
Fully refueling this ship would cost millions of credits at this current point.
Oh, we just need enough fuel to get it.
Not millions, hundreds of thousands, but yeah.
To get it in the general vicinity of this refueling station.
Mm-hmm.
Which refueling station are you thinking of?
Whichever one Tarnis
is talking, yeah.
So that refueling station is in the Gordian Reach, which is closer to Tandoon. It's over here, roughly.
That also a really smart thing. What Tarnis just said.
Yeah, you absolutely can. If you want to assemble one of the SD6 Hulk droids, you could have even it can start helping.
Yeah. Actually,
at least on the big
that's actually a pretty smart idea.
And also use it to move some of the crates and shit.
Yeah. I will say what you've had happen is the CR20 is actually flown in and landed in the main cargo bay. It is you've had to put some work into pushing stuff out of the way, but it was able to completely set down in here and unload a good amount of workers and material and supplies to begin the process of taking inventory more than anything else.
And cleaning up bodies.
There's certainly a lot of bones to be dealt with.
Oh god, I just thought of the clones crawling into the vents.
Yeah, astromech and Mount Straights are.
Yeah, here's the problem with this ship is you can clean it perfectly, completely flawlessly, and then the second you turn on the HVAC, the smell of decade-old corpse just fills the room.
That's why I don't take my helmet off.
Just the world is too Mandalore is just a really stinky planet. That's why they developed these helmets to begin with.
Well, when you have constant wars for centuries, thousands of years, it tends to happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, just laughing at the lore idea of Mandalore just smells like shit.
I was about to say the same thing, Ghost.
Well, it probably did before the Clone Wars, before they were all in bubble cities.
Yeah, I imagine it was worse once they're in the bubble cities. Now the farts can't leave.
Oh, fucking god, dude. Too high for that.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? No, like you step into those cities, it is just the smell of BO forever. And yeah, you could vent the ship. I think I will say it is midnight.
Yeah,
I think it's a good place to stop here, as we can go into low power mode ourselves and discuss what you might want to do next, but without the pressure of being in session per se.
Yeah.
Oh, okie dokie then. No, that was the interesting event. But anyway, that will be the end of this Star Wars tabletop campaign for right now. I'm just not shit. I hope you all have a good rest of your weekend, and also Merry Christmas. Anywho, signing off.